Get ready to rumble. Now be the time. If you ain't know, now you know. Good luck, Phyllis. Do the impossible, see the invisible. Row, row, fight the power. Punch the untouchable, break the unbreakable. Row, row, fight the power. What you gonna do is what you wanna do. Just break the rule. You fight the power. This is the king of the cheap. Cool, baby. Row, row, fight the power. Row, row, fight the power.
Gathered friends, listen again to our legend of Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. I'm your host, Chippity Bee.
I thought we were doing a proper one.
That is proper. It's traditional, okay?
Mobile
Liam?
Suit Matanui.
Liam,
Yes, there you go.
The superior series.
You ruined the introduction to this entire show, the first episode. You don't get to talk.
But you do get to talk now when introducing yourself. Who are you?
Yes.
And it better be a Gurren Lagann reference. Fuck you!
So that's Big Drill over there. Who's the cat?
I'm Yoko. I have big titties and I wear a skimpy bikini because it apparently helps me fight.
Good. And someone who looks a lot like Levi. Who's that?
It's not Levi. No.
Is it perhaps...
Kamina, the sunglasses man.
Or Leroy? Leron? Whatever his name was?
I think it was later on, wasn't it?
I think so.
I've only seen the
The
first
very
episode.
effeminate one.
I've only seen the
Sure,
first
why
episode
not?
and I saw it years ago.
Yeah. And also another one. Who's this mysterious fellow over here?
Simone the nerd.
Is this mysterious fellow me?
Yes.
I am James Wall person. I run Wallofhistory.com. Big old
And you're apparently
Bionicle
filleting
archive.
your microphone.
What?
Your name is Liam.
His name is James Microphone Blowjob.
Liam, he said
sorry,
in the chat. He said in the chat his microphone doesn't pick up noise very well. He needs to fillet it in order for it to work at all.
Can you all hear me now?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
shit!
sounds good.
Okay.
Holy shit! That's your definition of doesn't work right.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
it's fine. No, it's fine.
It sounds
you
fine.
don't.
It's fine. It's fine.
You don't work with audio recording for a living, I assume.
No, I do not.
Yeah, so like you're fine. Not everyone can know everything.
It's all good. It's all good.
You're a book.
So-
You're a book man. You work with books.
Yeah, I know everything about Bionicle and nothing about anything else.
Yeah.
Cool. You really min-maxed on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Liam doesn't even know anything about what he does, and he's Liam.
Thank
He
goodness
didn't know that independent contractors are supposed to bring their own equipment at yesterday's.
I've already been
charity
over this
event.
multiple times.
I know, and it's hilarious, and I love you.
Viewers, if you want the full story on that, just check out our extra live stream that was uploaded at some point.
He took his ball and went home because I made a big brain Uno play.
Josie, I swear to God.
I love you.
Anyway, what are we talking about today? We're talking about books. We're talking about Bionicle books. Bionicle books that we have
We're
read,
talking
in fact.
about we're starting our conversation with a very bad explanation for Tuma's bad back.
Yes, I was about to say.
I watched the movie and I forgot how fucking sparky it was. How was Matanui the first person notice?
Well, apparently he only got the injury a few weeks ago, according to this
Yeah.
book.
A few weeks.
Which begs the question, by the way. Does that make the Legend Reborn's version of the fight canon? Because that's certainly not how the fight went in the novelization.
I love the one in the novelization, so fuck the movie.
Maybe they're both canon in their own separate ways.
Yeah.
We have a
It's
multiverse.
nonsense.
I
Like he
imagine
wore Tuma down and then just elbowed him in the back a bunch.
Sure.
I imagine that near the end his back probably was sparking that much. Like, holy shit. The Skrull are such a warrior, or such a warlike people that, like, at the moment that many sparks started flying out of their leaders, someone would have had to have been like, I am boss now.
It's alternate universe. It's all okay. There's no plot holes ever.
Oh, okay. Phew, thank goodness for that. So we start off with Tuma and Stronius. They've just departed from the Squirrel Sisters encampment, and they're on their way back. The Squirrel Sisters have gone off to the Valley of the Maze in search of Angons, who Tuma said, he's probably up in the maze somewhere. And the Squirrel Sisters just believe him like that.
Why on earth would they have thought that information was helpful?
And also, why was it never mentioned again?
Hey, so Angons, he's probably at that place where everyone on the planet knows the great beings live. Or at least thinks they do.
Did they live there? I thought they lived in their little lollipop fortress.
The maze is the lollipop fortress.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm stupid.
No. Not everyone can remember everything all the time. But, yeah. So, basically he said, knock, knock, who's there? I will sell you valuable information for your aid in the war against the fart robots. All right, spit it out. You know that guy you're looking for? He's in his house. Thank you.
Whoa.
I will gladly commit genocide for you, possibly against my own people, because your enemy is unstoppable.
Speaking of that unstoppable enemy, Tuma and Stronius on their way back get double ambushed by Batera.
They're very smart for being such stupids.
Yeah, so Tuma and Stronius, they notice some trees, and they're like, hey, those trees weren't there before. And then they look, and it's like, oh no, those are real trees. The enemies put them there as a decoy. They're actually behind us.
It's like, holy shit. I was honestly expecting it was going to be the trees, and then it wasn't.
We are the Batera. We speak for the trees. The trees say it's time to die.
Yeah, and then they stab him in the backs. And that's how Tuma gets his back injury.
Tuma got his back injury from fart robots, disguised as rocks, disguised as trees. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude, and then I'm gonna play Iron Man.
Well, anyway, so, yeah, they get beaten up by the Batera, and right as they think they're about to die, Metis walks in and he's like, hello, it's me. I know how to beat these guys, I told you. Here they are. They're
and then
dumb
he fucking
robots.
does it!
Yeah.
And holy crap! Oh my god!
Yeah. So
Why wasn't this?
standing there
Why
like,
wasn't
I'm the best?
Why wasn't this part in the movie? This makes him seem so badass. Like, look at me. Everyone on the planet just too stupid to have figured this out. Literally everyone on the planet. I am the only person.
In 100,000 years.
Why is the Batera's
What I want to know is, first, I just want
judgment
to interject. I want to know how they didn't figure this out before now.
Why would
Who
this
on Bar Magna doesn't carry a weapon?
exactly?
and
Actually,
why
that's a very good
does
point. I just
why
answered
is
my own
a-
question.
why
Yeah.
is a formerly armed opponent losing their weapon enough to make the Batera just totally give up? Like, probably while
They
you're
were-
fighting them,
they
you're
had
probably
just-
going to drop your weapon at some point. So.
They were
And
still-
also, sorry, go on.
They were still working through the trauma from dealing with the Sisters of the Scroll. They weren't at the top of their game, yeah, it's just they were fucked. And then Meta shows up and like, hey, I was disarmed for just long enough to find out they are the Predator.
And Metis is like,
Sorry, go on again.
Like, I compared the
you go ahead, Levi.
I compared the Batara to the sort of soggy boys from Ben 10, and Pants from Marvel Civil War, but that's the superficial qualities. They're more similar to the Predator. They're basically the Predator.
But yeah,
yeah.
when the reveal was given that, like, oh, they won't attack you if you're unarmed. I was wondering, so until, because obviously they are armed, until Matanui got to the planet, if one of these things went mad, there was literally nothing on Barra Magna that could possibly stop it.
Yep.
So what the fuck were the Great Beings thinking?
They're not smart.
They are very not smart.
They know how to make things, they just don't know why to make things.
Like, they made the Element Lords, and they went shit. So they made something that could possibly become even more shit to defeat them.
They just make whatever they think sounds coolest on any particular day.
It's basically like the Lego movie. It's like, hey, well, let's build a submarine that looks really cool, and then build a door hatch that's circular over a square opening, and that won't flood the submarine.
How are they smart enough to build a 40 million foot tall self-building robot? And
Because
yet
fuck you, that's why.
they can't get, like,
Different responsibilities.
the laws of robotics in place.
Again, they knew how to make things. They don't know why to make things. They were like, oh, we don't like our social obligations. Let's build gods to take over for us. Oh, that was a bad idea. Who'da thunk?
They really are just so fucking irresponsible. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Matanui.
Because how did they get to this point if they're that shit at ordering things?
It's like Matanui is my favorite depiction of a god in fiction, because he fucked up and he feels bad about it, and he does whatever he can to fix it, but he's hopeless. He's a hopeless idiot. The Great Beings. There's some of my favorite depictions of just a god that just sucks.
Yeah.
I love them. It's great. It's great. The whole thing. I just love it. Fuck.
Yeah.
Let's build a giant fucking robot to solve our planet exploding. Oh, it didn't work. Let's build a bigger one.
Yeah. But anyway, so Metis, as he's revealing all this to Stronius and Tuma, he's like, I secretly know how to control the Patera, and I could, get them to attack you, or you could help me out with, like, conquest of the whole planet. Just cut me in on that real quick.
It was a very good bluff. I have the foggiest idea how you could manage to convince them to attack someone.
But either way, he negotiates a deal with Tuma where, basically, if Tuma falls in battle, then Metis gets his army. Okay.
Yep, that actually made the movie make sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, Metis just shows up and he's like, he acts like he owns the place, and he kind of does, apparently.
Except Tuma in this scene is secretly going like, no.
Kill him if that ever happens.
Yeah. I guess Stronius never really got the chance to kill him.
But yeah, like, as long as Stronius doesn't kill Metis is in charge.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, Stronius wasn't even named in the movie, so fuck it.
Yeah, speaking of people in charge, though, Makuta, he's preparing for some real universal domination.
Yep. He's all like, I'm going to go to Lego Island, I'm going to go to Planet U, I'm going to go to all these other places. He doesn't name drop any of them, but all of Lego is canon, so...
Okay. But anyway, as he's preparing for all this, he notices, there's a Makuta inside me, and it's not me. What's going on here?
Oh, wait,
it is kind of is me?
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah.
Let's see what's up with that.
Yeah, it's the Light Pterodax from the alternate universe. The one that Mazika took back with him.
Who is... his plotline is resolved so haphazardly, it really... Like, I thought that just the ending of Bionicle as a franchise was sudden because of the whole, what happened with the rocks. But, holy crap. The ending of this one really demonstrates how at a rush Greg was to tie everything up. Like, wait, what? We were planning a trilogy and now the whole 10-year spanning franchise is canceled. You want me to wrap it up how quickly? Hammers!
Yeah.
It was ridiculously annoying to me as well, because he's just sat on a rock 1 second, and the next he's like talking to Akar, and the next they're just, oh shit, Makuta's coming.
Akar.
Was it Akar? No, the guy who leads the village.
Madanui is. He's talking
right.
about the end of Legend Reborn and how.
Was it Rani, maybe?
Okay, Levi's talking about a slightly later on point in the book.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Basically, just like Greg was at such a rush to tie everything up that he was like, okay, so the Light Pterodax, the guy who has all the plans but is not evil, he has to fight 3 of the most powerful Toa that will ever exist. What's he gonna do? Hammers.
Yep.
Hammer time.
Just smack him with a hammer.
No. Can't touch this. No.
Yep.
I think we're skipping ahead a little bit and missing what I think is one of the most ridiculous things in the franchise, which is Toa Tuyet's insane backstory.
Yes, we're about to get that. Yep. So
I describe Bionicle to people as basically comic books distilled into an essence, because this is the most convoluted thing ever.
Toa Tuyet at this point is basically Wolverine.
Yes.
yeah.
Like,
So this Tuyet here is the original from this universe, but she was put in another dimension. And then she faked her own death in that dimension, escaped out of it, and took 2,000 years to get back to this dimension, all the while absorbing Toa energy along the way.
those fragments of the Nui stone that were in the pit Tuyet, fake.
But the fragments of the Nui stone in this Tuyet are real.
And
Yep.
the Tuyet from the pit was from a third dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened to her.
Yeah.
They just plucked her out of there.
I think I read somewhere that the Order killed her.
I thought Karzani punched her into a million pieces, didn't?
I mean, he did after she was a zombie.
Yeah. So the Order put her in the pit, and then when the Great Cataclysm happened, she died, and then Matoro did his mask thing and resurrected her, and then Kazani punched her.
Rest in peace.
Stupid. Rest in pieces.
Many pieces.
Over there and over there and over. Oh my God! Light Pterodax makes that joke. Fuck. And the shadow TuragaNuvas. They're just dealt with so quickly. The Mask of Light that survived fucking immersion in lava can be shattered by a goddamn mallet.
A really big hammer.
Lava!
I mean, it's metal. It's metal. It can survive lava. Come on, for a little while at least.
That's true.
We spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on robots we shoot into space, and it's any that we send on Venus melt within seconds.
That's really hot though.
Yeah, but you know
You
what's
can't
really
make
hot?
them-
You know what else is really hot? Running lava.
I think the robots on Venus have more to do with the acidity of the atmosphere than just the heat.
There's also the fact that if you're shooting something into space, it can't be too big and bulky. It's got to have
That's true.
lightweight armor on it.
I also want to point out, for the part that we're currently reading up on, that Makuta comments on how apparently there are still pit prisoners just running around under his feet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're totally still there.
Just on Aquamagna still. So they're just probably dead now.
No.
Hydraxin 2 did not do a very good job.
Yeah, no, they're not dead. We actually find out what happened to them later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, we know a lot of the prisoners were just, they just arrived on Spherus Magna because some of them were wrangled up back into the Great Spirit Robot before, the Makuta took it over, but Whoever was left over on Aqua Magna is probably very dead.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, but according to the wiki, and you know the wiki is accurate because Swirt wrote every word of it, including mine. But according to the wiki, nope, everything's fine. Everybody lives.
Of course.
Everybody who wasn't explicitly killed off is alive and well.
Okay. Well, let's go for something a little bit more lighthearted. Let's talk about Vizon.
I love
Everybody's favourite little boy. He arrives in Matabara Magna Place, which is probably Spherus Magna in an alternate dimension or something.
Tarduk is suddenly my favorite Agori.
Yeah.
It's just, this book, I was never expecting fucking Tarduk of all things. But here it is, like, Vizon runs into him and is all like, hello, what's your name? Tarduk! And then he's all like, where?
Yeah. So I guess this confirms that Tarduk in Matoran sounds the same. It sounds the same as Tarduck in Matoran.
I interpret Matoran Liam. Don't
You
bitch.
had it right the first time.
Okay, good, thank God. I interpret Matoran as just an ancient language that they don't speak anymore, and what they speak now is what other fantasy media calls common.
Okay, I get that, but the thing is, puns don't translate.
Yes, exactly. Common is usually just English.
Well, anyway, I thought of a slightly different interpretation, and that's that, you know how we were talking a while ago about how, Vizon and Brutaka, they had like a stash of Earth movies that they collected from other dimensions? Maybe Vizon learned English from those.
There's that. There's just all sorts of ways to interpret things. I just like the idea that ancient Matoran is like basically Latin. It's like a language no one speaks anymore, but all of our shit is named after it. We name all of our animals Latin shit that no one speaks.
That's true. I could see that.
But everyone just speaks English, which is a language that originated hundreds or thousands of years later.
Yeah. But,
I mean, we do know that the programming language that the Great Spirits used for Matanui is basically just random Polynesian words, so maybe there's canon English in this as well.
Maybe.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and the comics, which Greg writes, so he basically, the Borak Hall write their name on the walls in English, in plain goddamn English.
They do?
Yeah, they write the name Kyle.
Oh,
I interpreted that as literal English being like God speak. The Borak would probably speak it.
Cool. But anyway, so Vizon. He arrives in this world, and he's, shown around by Tarduk. He introduces himself as Toa Vizon, Toa of Anarchy. Because he needs a title.
No one questions.
No. In fact, Tarduk's just like, I wish we had ice instead.
Vizon is basically the Bionicle equivalent of everyone you went to middle school with who spends all their time on Facebook posting stuff like, I tried being normal once, worst 2 minutes of my life.
So basically the weird subset of people that ruined Heath Ledger's Joker for everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Except for Joe, who says Joker is like his favorite meme.
But anyway, so this is a world with no Vizon, because nobody recognizes them, and apparently the Makuta didn't rebel, nobody's got any problems, except for a bunch of Skakti and Vortex and Miserix and Bone Hunters. They seem to have a problem with the guys.
Yep.
Yeah, he's certain that this universe doesn't have a Vizon, because he's 100% certain that every possible iteration of him is a fucking maniac.
Yeah, that someone would have tried to kill him by now.
Yeah, he assumes that in a world where there are no real problems, Vizok would have never accidentally stumbled upon the staff of fuckness, whatever it was.
That is true. Vizon isn't supposed to exist.
Actually, I forgot about that.
Yep.
I forgot he wasn't a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, the
he's
spear
not-
of fusion. I'm having flashbacks to my modeling assignment now.
Yep, Vizon's not a real boy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, Speria could have made him a real boy, but he never asked for some reason.
Mm. Anyway, so back to Matanui. So he is going north. He's going to the Valley of the Maze. You know, that whole plot point that got brought up last time.
The
Yep.
maze that just has a giant Lego pin in the center.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a little silly looking.
I mean, it's creative use of the fucking toys, I guess.
Wait, can a pin actually go in that
Yeah.
piece like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's how it attaches. So basically, you just take a scroll shield and you attach a 3-wide pin in backwards, and bam, you got yourself a mini vignette of the maze of whatever it's called. I forgot.
The Valley of the Maze. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, 2 pieces. There's your mini build of the Valley of the Maze.
But anyway, so as Matanui's going off on his journey, we cut back to Akar and Kina, and I think Gresh as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
They haven't gone with him because instead they're busy dealing with Sarmad.
Yep.
Welcome to Sarmad's introduction, by the way.
Yep, they're basically like, well, our movies got canceled, so Barracks broke his butt bone or something.
And Kina has the best line in all of Bionicle.
Yep. Oh god, what was the exact quote again?
Oh, shut up, you loser.
That was it.
And she says it. She's like it's like an anime sequence where she's got her fists out like it's the most epic thing anyone's ever said. Like, yeah, shut up, loser.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Just like animate the background of it and just have her like slowly blinking every few seconds, and it's like that Game Grumps episode of Phoenix Wright where they're just leaving Edgeworth beaming into the camera on screen for way longer than it was intended.
Yeah.
I wish we were the Game Grumps.
But anyway, so yeah, Barracks got Thornaxed. That's the exact wording used. And so everybody decides, let's not go with Matanui. He can handle it. It's fine.
I mean, he's God. He's pretty much still God, even though he's not now.
That's true.
Okay, but aren't Thornaxes supposed to explode? Shouldn't Barracks be dead?
It wasn't
in a
ripe
million
enough.
Pieces?
Yeah,
It wasn't-
maybe it was a solid one.
It wasn't the exact level of ripeness it apparently needs to be to explode. No one knows whether it's too much or too little. I forget how it works with you. But the point is, it wasn't exactly the right enough.
Yeah, I think with Thornaxes, it's like when they're not ripe yet, that's when you can eat them. When they are ripe, they harden, and then when they're overripe, they explode.
I miss
see.
Futurama. I miss Futurama.
So anyway, Matanui does actually find the maze. He gets there with pretty much no problem, and then he gets through it with pretty much no problem. Despite all the death traps, the fire and ice and plants and things.
Yeah,
he just,
Akar
like,
taught him some.
gets through it.
Akar taught him all he knows, and he's pretty good.
Why couldn't Akar do it then?
It's his destiny.
Yeah.
And plus, I think either the Mask of Life or Matanui's soul just unlocks the Great Being's shit. I don't know if Lollipop Tower, is that what we called it?
Yeah.
Like how do we know that Lollipop Tower even bothers to not just I think the message that Matanui received was just not because we see Tarduk is captured and hanging above a death trap. I think that's what would have happened if Akar had went and not Matanui, because I think either the Mask of Light or Matanui's soul or whatever is like a key that unlocks the Great Being's cars.
Yeah.
Or
I
it
guess
might
so.
just be that he answered wrong. Maybe it just
Yeah.
asks everyone.
I love how snarky that computer that can only say one thing is. Like, it conveys so much with just a single sentence. Like, what do
you seek? What is your purpose? What brings you life and death?
I love that, by the way.
Yeah, that
that's
is good.
pretty cool.
As soon as he asked those questions, even the first one, just what do you seek, I knew what the answer was, though.
It took me a couple repetitions, but then I was like, oh, God, it's gonna be unity destiny, isn't it? Unity.
But by the way, actually, but before we get off topic here, I just want to say, where were the Element Lords during all of this?
They are probably repelled by the Mask of Life. I called it Mask of Light again. I probably have done that multiple times in this episode.
You just waltzed right up to the maze and didn't run into them at all.
They were out at the ruins of Roxtus having a lovely brunch.
There's just... I just assume that the Mask of Life does a lot more than we see it do because it's basically MacGuffin.
I guess so. Anyway, flashback time. We flash back to over 100,000 years ago, rather, where Angons is angsting around about this very, very doomed planet that he's living on. He's like,
I fucked this place up.
Yep. Time to make a new universe and not live in it.
Yep. It's gonna be a robot. It's gonna just happen to look like foreshadowing. Greg couldn't make up Greg or the artist or whoever couldn't make up their minds about whether the prototype robot looks like what would eventually be Glatorian Madanui or not.
Yeah, that was a thing in the comic parts.
That was weird. Yeah, you would think that at least one of the robot's faces might look like the Ignika. No, it looks more like the Vahi. The prototype robot's face looks more like the Vahi than it does the Ignika. That is weird. That is weird.
Yeah, I never really noticed that.
Yeah, like I think Lego was just like, yeah, Lego's about making whatever you want. Everyone who makes our shit can just make it look however they want, and whatever sticks.
Yeah.
That's why the Vahi had so many. Not the Vahi, the Ignika. That's why the Mask of Life.
Josie.
That's why the Mask of Life had so many designs before they picked one. It's like just everybody was given an opportunity to make their own, including some of the fans, and then they picked the obvious one.
I guess so.
I mean, it's like it's based on the concept art, and it's got a guy on the face. It's perfect.
Yeah. So speaking of the before time, before the shattering and all that,
it's got a guy on the face.
All that.
I'm gonna get some water.
Okay. So Ranu remembers all that happened back then as well.
Remembers.
Yes, he does. He remembers when some icy boys, they discovered the little pool of energized protodermis in the icy land, and the icy element lord is like, well, my guys found it in my land, so it's mine, right? And everyone else is like, no.
It's in the core of the planet. It's in the core of the planet. That's not how that works.
And this comic contains the best character in all of Bionicle, H.P. Lovecraft Fishman.
Yeah.
Or as I tweeted about.
Yeah, this is from All Our Sins Remembered, isn't it?
That's right, it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we did get it.
The last one was Stuart Sager's art style.
Yeah. He came back for this one.
Josie, I swear to God.
I had to run. Okay. Gagagagagagagu.
Okay.
What?
There's a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Gagagagagagu.
Can you use your English? Are you having a stroke?
No, that's just what it's called. That's just what it's called.
Is that relevant?
There's a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Gagagagago. I think that's going to be the best I'm going to get.
Gagigago?
The monster card looks exactly like this fucker. and I'm gonna get you the thing. I'm gonna get you the thing.
Okay.
You're gonna agree with me, and then you're gonna be like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. That awakened a deep, ancient memory in me
Yep.
of when I was...
Almost
A
like a
Yu-Gi-Oh!
5,000-year-old Egyptian pharaoh that just happens to look exactly like I'm gonna look like when I hit puberty.
So anyway, the great beings at this time, they've contracted Ranu and Kiri to go get a sample of that energized protodermis, see what it's all about. And they analyze it, and they're like, oh crap, this is going to destroy the planet. Whoops.
The ice guys are just like, hey, we found some lava. I guess we own lava now. Our planet's filled with it, but we own it. Because we
I see
found
it less
some
than-
of it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we found some water. We own water now.
I imagine that this is kind of... the parallels to oil are quite obvious in places.
Yeah,
you know.
except even humans weren't stupid enough to think that I'm the first person in the universe to find oil. I guess I own the concept of dead dinosaur juice.
No, but when people find oil, they generally say, oh, I own this source of it.
Okay, but here's the deal, though. They think the ice guys seem to think they own all of it.
I never got that impression of it. I just figured that nobody found another source for it.
I did, but to
Yeah,
be fair,
nobody
I
else
was
found
in
it.
a rush. I was in a rush to get this read.
Fair enough.
Because
Yeah,
I fucked up so hard last week that I was like, okay, I need to do the opposite of fuck today. I need to do the cuff.
But yeah, the great beings didn't even know this existed until one of the Yagori found it, so...
That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, do engineers do we know what's at the center of the Earth?
big ball of iron, I think.
Yeah.
But has anyone actually been there to see?
Yeah. We can't drill even.
Haven't you ever seen The Core? The
Yeah, we
greatest
can't-
movie of all time?
I think the
Unfortunately
furthest.
not.
I think the furthest we can drill down is like a mile or two. Like it's real deep. It's real hard that rock. You just
It
and
sure is.
the reason we don't explore the oceans much is because the closer you get to the center of a planet, the more pressure you get. It is legitimately easier to shoot something into space than it is to shoot something into down.
Okay.
By the way, I posted it in Recording General. Gaga Gigo.
Oh, there it is.
Gaga Gigo. I have many copies of this card. He has fitting for Bionicle. He has probably one of the most in-depth lore in Yu-Gi-Oh! In terms of normal monster cards that no one gives a shit about.
That looks absolutely nothing like the Element Lord of Water.
Liam,
Yes.
I misinterpreted what we were talking about and thought we were talking about the Lizard Man.
Lizard Man.
The lizard man
From
that
the
got
comic.
transformed.
The lizard that got turned into a real boy,
Oh,
Liam.
that thing, right.
I am stupid and thought we were talking about that, and I apologize for wasting everyone's time.
Okay, just looking at this design for Kiri here. I love how his helmet is just Ranu's helmet, but backwards.
I mean,
Yeah.
they had to get creative. They had to get creative with part reuse, and again, I point out Levi really likes what's his face, and his head was just the horse head, but backwards.
Oh, Tellurus.
Who?
Tellurus.
Tide Pods?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Tellurus, the guy who rides Scopio.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hank Scorpio.
His helmet is the same mold as the spigot head. It's just backwards.
Yeah, the horse head. Yeah, the horse head. That's what I said.
Yeah, yeah.
I got
so-
my spigots in the back. Front end attached. Everybody run. Charting on the charts for several months more.
No.
No. I did an entire cover of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. No.
Okay, that, you know what? Touche.
She does have a good point.
I love you guys. I love you guys.
So anyway, the Great Beings decide the best course of action at this point is to make a great big freaking robot. Yeah. And then they launch it, and then the planet explodes, nobody sees the Great Beings again, a load of a gory die, and that's the end of that.
I practically live and breathe Bionicle, and I still cannot choke when I hear giant robot. There is no problem in existence that requires a giant robot. The Great Beings built two to deal with their planet exploding.
Yeah, you know. The planet explodes, you make a big robot and put it back together. Perfect sense.
In 100,000
robot.
years, after
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
has starved to death, of course.
Yeah. You'll get there.
So
You'll get
many
that.
resources. Do you know what? Okay, so like we have for years and decades have thought, hey, what if you just build a ball of solar panels around the sun? Then you could harness the full output, the full energy output of the sun.
And also
But-
die.
The resources of doing that would mean that not only would we have already had to have one in order to make one, but
No.
just like it's too like basically we can't. It's not feasible. It's more money than it's worth. It's more it's just stupid.
You're talking
It's
about a
stupid.
Dyson sphere?
Yep, I love them.
Yeah. Look up Dyson Swarm. Someone figured out a solution to that.
Yep, Dyson Swarm, much easier. But the point is, like, they probably could have saved their planet instead of making two giant robots with a universe inside both of them. But
That wouldn't have been as cool.
Yep, because it's cool.
Yeah.
And the Great
Pretty sure
Beings-
that's why the Great Beings do anything, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Pretty much.
They brought into being several thousand different species as well, just to do this.
Yeah.
the Great Beings' power, their only power is they can do anything as long as it's cool.
They created a race of sentient creatures that transforms into beetles to shave its face if it ever gets stubble.
Yep. There's a
Well,
they
don't-
basically have the power to do anything as long as they can make it into an overly complicated Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah. So anyway,
It's
speaking
like
of
it's
mathematics,
like some sort of hot rod flame version of the Toon Force. The
So-
concept that a cartoon character can do anything as long as they can make it funny.
Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, so Matanui, he's outside the Great Being's Needle Tower thing, and he gets this riddle. He's like, "Oh, it's duty, duty, destiny. I figured it out," and the tower lets him in.
And then the Lollipop Guild is never seen again.
Yeah, and he walks on in, and he's like, "Oh no, Tarduk's tied up in the lava basement. Oh no, how did this happen?" He just like jumps over and grabs him. He's like, "You're safe now."
Yeah, and Tarduk, he's my favorite guy now.
Yeah.
Fucking Tarduk, I never expected in a
Hey,
million
but
years.
props to Tarduk for getting through that whole maze by himself.
How the fuck? How the fuck did he do that?
He did it. That's all you need to know.
He had Vastus he had Gresh just blow him straight into the fortress from over the edge of the maze.
That lollipop entrance, that lollipop doorbell probably was straining so hard to try to ask, how the fuck did you get here? We almost killed God several times trying to get here, and you just stroll on in and it's like, little burden. And he's like, my name's Tarduk.
And then when Matanui cuts him down, and
Can we just all agree that Tarduk is the onion of Bionicle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fuck? Oh,
Actually,
right, Steven. I thought you were talking about the news outlet for some reason.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, Tarduk is the onion of Bionicle, yeah.
No. That was one of the chroniclers, which I guess Tarduk might be one of.
Sure. He's the new chronicler. He's the new hip and cool chronicler.
He's certainly a better adventurer than Barracks.
Yeah.
I mean, he made it all the way through this god-killing maze.
I mean, to be fair, God was a babby.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
I hate
anyway,
being
so
short.
Matanui does save him from the lava. And,
I hate being
the
short.
whole building collapses around them.
And
My
turns
new
into
body
a
is
volcano, and Matanui goes, that reminds me of my nose.
Yeah.
There must be secrets within.
Oh, no. It's true.
God fucking damn it.
I know a few things about volcanoes that aren't volcanoes.
I didn't think that any sequence of words could be funnier than Matanui was used to being 42 million feet tall, and now he's 7 foot. I hate being short, but Levi, you just did it. That reminds me of my nose. You just did it.
That's literally what he said. He does.
Yeah.
I know,
so does
I
that
know.
mean so does that mean that all the Tamatoran for 1,000 years were living in Matanui's boogers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, that's what the rocks were that were like the stepping stool bridge thing. Just remember that when you're playing Legend of Matanui.
No, that was his nose hair.
Just remember when you're playing Legend of Matanui and hopping over those things to spend several hours trying to get screenshots of Joel for a single tweet that no one likes, nobody interacted with.
You're walking on his nose hair.
You're walking
Yeah,
on it.
if he sneezed once in 1,000 years, Tametru would have been gone.
Well, that's what a volcanic
Sorry,
eruption
Takoro.
is.
Takoro.
That's what a volcano.
Can you sneeze when you're in a coma?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you can still. I mean, it's an automatic response.
Yeah.
It's not something your brain.
Yeah, it's a reflex. So apparently.
Wait, hang on. The mask of light was hidden inside the volcano. Is that like a golden booger?
They had to spelunk into his nose to get
so,
the
like-
ultimate. Someone hid the mask of light in his nose.
So like here's how the brain works.
I'm sorry, that just reminds me of that the episode of The Simpsons where like they found out that Homer was just shoving crayons up his nose.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so stupid. But yeah, so here's. Oh wait, no, that was why he was so smart that episode. Oh.
No, it was smart when they took the crayon out of his brain.
Anyway, so here's how the brain works. Mel Gibson had trained himself so hard to sound like Bugs Bunny, to talk like Bugs Bunny, that when he was in a coma, someone was all like, "Hey, what's up, Doc?" or whatever, and Mel Gibson responded in the coma like Bugs Bunny, because it was just a reflex for him.
Wow.
Mel Blanc, that's his name, Mel Blanc.
Not Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson
I was gonna say.
Mel Gibson directed The Passion of the Christ. What's up, Jesus?
I think we got
Hey,
time for this
what's
episode.
up, Christ?
I think we know the name of this episode.
Yeah.
What's up, Christ?
It even fits.
So anyway, back to old Vizon. He's worrying. Oh god, there's an army coming straight at me. Oh no! And then suddenly, Zoardo.
It would sure be convenient for a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference.
Yeah. And that's what a great being does
I'm
to
gonna
him.
do everything I'm gonna do, but you can do the thing that I'm gonna do.
But that's not even a JoJo reference.
Strange magic, isn't it?
Wait, where are we?
We're in chapter 46,
Nowhere.
or maybe 47, depending on what
I
you're reading.
always thought that the location that this great being was kept in was like some pocket dimension that existed nowhere and had nothing. But no, it's just a jail cell on Boda Magno, apparently.
But it's
Yeah.
a living jail cell.
So,
Of course
yeah.
it is. Everything he touches comes to life. He's like the guy from Adventure Time with the oven mitts. The oven
So,
mitts that
anyway,
were probably
this,
the oven mitts that were probably always screaming in agony.
So this great being somehow sort of communicated to Vizon through dimensions and like pulled him out of there to come help him.
Yeah, it just because he's chained up doesn't mean he can't still do shit. Like Miserix could still do shit.
Yeah, but this is like real shit.
Miserix
Yeah, okay.
had to turn into a big thing to eat bats, though.
Look,
Like-
here's what happened. Here's what happened. The cursed great being probably just like assembled some dust mites into a game of Mousetrap and summoned Vizon when the thing fell on the thing.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Because they can do anything as long as they can make it into a Rube Goldberg machine.
Sure. So, yeah. So they go to help each other out. Cool. Meanwhile, Lewa gets mind jacked again.
For like the fourth time.
Poor Lewa.
Yep.
Finally!
The fourth and final time.
I've been looking forward to this for months. He finally gets mind jacked again. I thought this was like a thing that went on for a long time. I always thought it was like a big deal. He basically Cthulhu takes over his body for like 5 minutes.
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, Trencrom grabs his body, flies off to.
No, he doesn't fly off because
No, that's right. Yeah.
Why the fuck did the great beings glue him to the floor if he couldn't leave anyway?
Yeah.
He could leave in his old body. He couldn't use Lewa's air power.
Okay,
No,
but
no,
here's the thing. He doesn't need Lewa's air power. Lewa has adaptive armor at this point. He has, like, jetpacks. Why can't he fly away?
Trencrom didn't know that. He read Lewa's mind. Lewa's a brick, so Lewa probably forgot.
He's so fried inside from all the other previous ones.
Yeah, so like Lewa probably forgot, and so Trencrom wouldn't be able to find that in his brain. But yeah, so apparently Trencrom is not able to leave the island without air powers. So why did they glue him to the ground?
Because maybe his other body had air powers?
Yeah,
Hmm.
his old body could probably get out of there somehow. I don't know.
I mean,
His old body was an octopus. He could probably just swim.
Yeah.
or he could
Actually, he could probably swim with the adaptive armor.
Yeah.
You know what else?
He could
you know what
probably
else
just swim.
You know what else you can probably do? Cut yourself out of the ground.
Nah.
That too.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things. This is stupid, and I love it. This is stupid, and I love it. Cthulhu is stupid.
Yeah. I do like that though. He steps outside and he's like, finally, fresh open air.
And
And
I
I'm
just
trapped on
need
the
to
island.
remember everybody because it's been on my mind because I still keep putting off making that Photoshop. I need everyone to remember Lego considered making a Trencrom toy at some point, and it was just going to be one of the Toamari masks with beard hair glued onto it. That sounded stupid in the moment, but now that I've read the shit with this character and know just how absurdly moronic he is, that is very fitting.
Yeah.
It was. I've been talking with Stuart about it. He thinks he can get a hold of it, or not the images.
Yeah.
But you know how it is. Sometimes people say things, you can't get it to all of them. There's like a whole thing, a mystery hard drive that turns out to not be real.
Yeah. I know how it is. But anyway, so back to Matanui real quick. So he's in that fake volcano that reminds him of his nose, and he's looking around. He's like, "Oh, here's some plans for robots and shit. I wonder if it's got my origin story in it."
And it does.
Yes, it does.
Oh, wait. I think this is where my notes start, because I started taking notes after this. Let's see.
And he's also like, "Oh, crap, we need 2 robots to do all this? Oh, no, I can barely get one of them working, and my mortal enemy has the other one."
He has an existential crisis over his backstory, and he fully explains himself to another character for the first time.
And then Tarduk is like, yeah, shut up, just do the thing.
A fucking Agori he just met that was basically spammed through Legend Reborn as background extras, and he fucking explains the franchise to him, and then Tarduk is all like, "Hey, quick critique, you're an idiot, you can do this." And then Manui's all like, "Holy shit, you're right. I should have explained even one iota of my backstory to literally somebody at some point." Like, if Matanui had told Metis, hey, I'm God, Metis would have probably like, "Oh shit, I'm not evil anymore."
Yeah,
It's
actually,
like,
that's a fair point. Like, up until this point, he's been really secretive to, Akar and Kina, not revealing his backstory or anything.
Yeah.
And then he just reveals it all to Tarduk.
Because he thought people would think he sound crazy, and to be fair, Rano did think he sounded crazy when he explained the giant robot thing. And Rano knew about the giant robot.
My interpretation of that has always been that Matanui was so coy about his backstory just because this was meant to be like a soft reboot of the story, and so they wanted to reference everything that came before as little and as vaguely as possible.
There is that. Yep. That is definitely it.
Maybe he was just embarrassed that Makuta beat him.
Oh yeah. He's embarrassed by the whole by the whole situation. Well, I had some work to do. I fucked up. I let cancer beat me, and I'm real embarrassed about it. I'm only as tall as a basketball player now, and I feel short. I don't want to tell my friends about this. Like, if he had fucking said any of this shit to Akar and Kina, like, I think they would have both just between the two of them transmogrified into a wormhole into Makuta's brain, because that's how useful explaining himself to Tarduk turned out to be.
Yeah. Anyway, but between Tarduk and himself, they figure out that this giant volcano, it can make a power source for that robot over there.
Because that's what lava is.
Yeah.
You put lava in a furnace, and you can burn all sorts of logs.
You put lava
and when
in
you
a
think
box.
when you think about it, the mask of light came from his nose. That powers him.
That's true. Yeah.
This nose just created another mask of light. It's just a little box this time.
Yeah. Sweet.
I wonder if you could make TuragaNuvas out of it.
Probably. But anyway, so back to Trencrom. So Ataka's like, "Oh, dude, I didn't realize you'd get trapped on the island, you idiot. Let me just teleport you to Metronui. There you go."
And then he does it, and he runs into, and this part, I don't know how to feel about this part. I don't know how to feel about.
I have this in my notes. In my notes. Well, let me have a look at the menagerie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing, but I have Steven Universe in my notes too, but later on. I just don't know how to come to terms with the revelation that Hafu is smarter than Kapura.
Also, I wanted to point out from the previous part of the book where Matanui's going through the Valley of the Maze, that the eye in the shield is now a single eye as represented by canon again. So that's a thing.
Hafu, Carvey Boy, is smarter than Kapura Slowboy, and my world is torn asunder.
So, yeah.
I mean, I
Hafu
think
Kapura.
when this was being written, they may have misinterpreted Kapura's slowness as a different kind of slowness.
Yeah, a little bit.
So Greg, so I don't think Greg was particularly fond of
MNOG.
Matanui Online Game. That's right. I forgot. I was drawing a blank.
Yeah, definitely.
I've had
not.
a weird couple of months. But I know in LJ's podcast with Alistair Swinnerton, Swinnerton didn't seem particularly interested in talking about aspects of canon he didn't create. He was asked about how to pronounce Kopeka, and he was like, I don't think that's one of mine, but I would pronounce it like this. My next note about this, Trencrom has the voice of Liwa because unlike every other body swap horror story, it didn't trade their larynxes. So he sounds like Liwa, but without the accent. So, but I was just trying to imagine the whole time what Liwa's Mask of Light voice actor that everyone hates would sound like trying to sound intimidating. And as it turns out, he's the voice of Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, he was in the Canadian dub. Yeah.
Yeah, and he voiced a fake Megabyte in Reboot. He voiced various. He actually voiced Kami in Dragon Ball Z also, and King Yama, who I think is like basically Satan.
Yeah.
No, he's not Satan.
Well,
he's a big red dude who guards.
He's like the secretary for heaven.
Yeah.
Well, Satan was the secretary for heaven before he burned some bridges and
no, he wasn't.
His job. He quit his job and burned some bridges. That's the backstory. That's Lucifer's backstory. Read the Bible.
Anyway.
Read the Bible! But, Liwa's Mask of Light voice actor that everyone hates, voiced some cool shit one time.
Yeah. So, anyway, the point is, Trencrom, he's in this body, and he just sort of, makes up some tree speak on the fly. He's just like, yes, if you would quick help
glass.
me.
Haha, makes glass.
And, yeah. And, like, Tuyet and Hafu, they're not having it. They're like, yeah, this guy's probably not who he says he is. Kapura's just like, yeah, it's him.
Yep, they're just immediately, like, Trencrom is very bad at pretending to be an idiot.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the idiot is surprisingly bad at this. Surprisingly. And
yeah, so Trencrom's like, I have a message for the real Matanui. Can you get me to the Coliseum so I can, like, telegram
Can the
it
real
over to him?
Matanui please stand up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to send a telegram. Can you get me to the Coliseum?
Like, they're basically like, well, if something's capable of basically defeating the Toa of Air that was destined to save Matanui, it's probably a good thing that he's on our side. Basically, they would be very... Like, they would immediately start fighting this guy if literally Satan wasn't in charge of the universe right now. Like, the rules are all changed. Everything's wacky. Cats and dogs are fucking together. That's not the line.
What?
That's not the line. Ghostbusters. Read the book. Read the Bible. Read the Ghost Bible.
So, yeah,
What?
actually, so Trencrom's message to Matanui, I don't think we ever found out what that was.
It was about the golden... It was telling the Mask of Life, actually, to make the golden armor.
Oh, okay. That's what that was.
Yeah, he was contacting Madanui because it was easier to focus on Madanui than the mask. But he wasn't actually talking to Madanui, he was talking to the mask.
Okay.
And then in the comic where the golden armor is made, I don't think it's in this book, but the mask is like a message has been sent and a message has been received or something.
Okay, yeah, that was in the book, yeah.
Yeah, so we hear snippets of Trent Crom's message, and it seems like he's just muttering nonsense with a couple words sprinkled in. So I think he's like talking in like the programming language of the Mask of Life.
Right, yeah.
Like,
I forgot he does mention the old armor in that.
Like, he's sending a coded message, but he's literally sending a coded message. Like, this is a JavaScript action script file.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Like, he's writing a bat message and emailing it to a guy.
So, back to Matanui. He's come out of the maze. He's got his little power source. He's like, hey, Ranu, can I borrow your entire civilization real quick?
Hey Ranu, can I borrow the continent?
I know you just dragged all the pieces from all across the world. That was real nice of you, but can I just move that?
Ranu, in this sequence, like, I went from hating Ranu to being like, oh my god, I get it now. This guy is so exasperated by this. Like, oh my god, what the fuck are you talking about? You want to just wear my country to fight a bigger country, like a giant mech battle of continents. Like, I know what you're talking about, and I still don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
God damn it!
It's a big decision. So it's
Like,
he
just like, no! Fuck no! No! and then he takes Matanui's side and is all like, look, I thought it over while I was bitching at you, and I thought, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Do it.
Well, specifically what tips him over the edge is Matanui's like, oh shit, Makuta's coming, like, right now. I need the body.
Yeah, and then Ragu is all like, well, fuck, I guess I don't have a choice. If a big spooky man is coming to stomp on us, you might as well fight him.
Yeah.
He goes from being all like, no, this is stupid, to being all like, crap, this is still equally as stupid as it was 5 seconds ago, but we're all gonna die anyway, so you might as well do the stupid thing. At least it'll be a cool light show to die on.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
during this scene, Matanui and Gresh. Sorry, you go ahead.
If I die watching two giant robots fighting and throwing planets at each other in person, that's legit the coolest death I could possibly imagine.
That's a good way to go out.
Like, people complain about the way this fight ended, and seeing it in person and seeing it in writing it, like finding out that Matanui just kind of stumbled around and pushed the guy into a thing. That is stupid, but you gotta think about this. Two giant robots were flinging planets at each other. That's, in any other context, that is the coolest thing you can do.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Isn't that how Gurren Lagann ended?
Yes, but galaxies instead of planets.
Galaxies, planets, same thing. Super Mario Galaxy confused the fuck out of science terms. All the galaxies quote were just solar systems. There was only one galaxy. It's the one we're in.
What do you mean there's only one galaxy?
In Super Mario Galaxy, there was one galaxy.
Ah, right.
Like, everything that they called a galaxy was just a solar system.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck they were on. Maybe it was a translation error. Maybe no one at Nintendo knows what space is.
Well, we're not really in any place to criticize them because in this story, a small planetoid is a universe, so...
Yeah.
No, Matanui, the robots are considered a universe.
Yeah, but
they're
like
the size of a planet.
inside is... like
well,
maybe one small planet's worth of islands.
But see, so it's defined as a universe because whoever's in charge of the robot controls the laws of physics within the robot. He's basically a pocket universe.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, pocket universes are a thing.
Anyway, so
well, they're not a thing, but they're a thing. You know.
So in this scene, Gresh and the Glatorian are talking it through, and he finally explains, all the shit. He's like, yeah, I was a really big guy, and that big old
big boy
universe, yeah, I could be that again if I just use your country, please. And then Gresh calls him out on it. He's like, oh, I thought you were, like, cool, but you're a big guy, so you're not cool. I don't like you anymore.
And then he was all like, yeah, I fucked up. Now I'm Michael Jordan. I still can't
the
get
worst
over
thing you could possibly be.
I still can't get... I will never get over the fact that Greg was like, I found an opportunity for the greatest joke ever. He's 7 foot tall. He hates being short.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. I don't know if Michael Jordan was 7 foot tall. I meant to say Shacky boy.
So, anyway, back to the brain core. Helrix, she's hanging out there. She's still been hanging out there for quite a while, and she's like, right, you know what? Maybe I could just destroy this whole place if I do a Nova Blast. And she's preparing to do that, and suddenly Tuyet and Trencrom crash the party. And they burst through the wall. And
yeah, that's where my note where my Spinel note would come in.
Yeah.
Well. Let's look at the Bivery. Let's look at the Bivery.
Yeah. And they see Miserix on the wall, and Trencrom, I think, is just like, oh lol, he thinks he's dead. Pop, he's alive again.
And then everyone starts fighting. The books.
Oh yeah. Brutaka and Axon show up as well.
Brutaka and Axon show up, and this is where it's confirmed that Brutaka is green now. Liam, you jumped the gun on that.
Yeah. No actual word on how Brutaka got here, because last we saw Axon was just alone, and now Brutaka's here too.
So here's the deal. Brutaka doesn't really have the mask in working order anymore. But he has the power of the Makuta world
Got
mind.
an anime on his side?
Yes, actually. He has the power of the Makuta world mind and all of the Earth movies he's seen. So, he has all of their powers, and Makuta can normally teleport, can't they?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I'm describing it as the world mind, the essence, the whatever. He is Makuta now. The Makuta. He just is, and he can do whatever they can do. And since he's already adept at teleportation shenanigans, this is child's play for him.
He's 30 unborn Makuta fetuses in a trench coat.
Well, no, I think he's more like an infinite amount of trench coat fetuses. Hold on, there's an SCP that's an infinite trench coat of fetuses. Hold on.
Oh boy, here we go.
SCP fetus woman.
So yeah, everyone starts fighting. You got Team Kill, which is Axon, Helrix, and Miserix. They're like, we should destroy the Great Spirit and, stop him. By Great Spirit, I mean Makuta. And then you got Team Save, which is Tuyet, Trencrom, and Brutaka, who are like, no, there's still work that needs to be done. Don't kill him. And they fight.
Fetus woman SCP.
So
Josie.
Then Makuta decides, right, time to blast off. And he rockets straight off of that little planet onto the bigger planet. The big ball of sand in the sky.
Found it.
Yeah.
1709.
So Tahu and his group, Onua and all that. Speaking of which, I don't know where Onua went, but at this point he's still with Tahu. And they just completely abandoned their mission to blow up the energized protodermis pool in Daxia. I think that's what they were going to do last time we saw them.
Yeah, they're going on. They're tracking. Hey, look at those cool lizards. What are those cool lizards doing? Let's go see what
like,
the cool lizards are doing.
They were right there as well. Like, anyway. So
Like,
yeah, they
this
just follow
is
the Rocky south.
This is literally Greg sidetracking because he has to tie up the loose ends quickly. This is literally
he's just like, I need the Toa on out
like
of the universe.
the Toa were doing something, and then Lego canceled the franchise, and so like, right, we're gonna do something else now.
Yeah, pretty much. So they follow all the Rakshi southwards, because all the Rakshi are going south. I wonder why.
I legit wasn't piecing together that the exit to the universe was in the leg region.
Yeah, it's just in his foot.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but in hindsight, it does. It should have been obvious. That's why Makuta was sending Rakshi into the feet.
But can't Rakshi, like, fly? Couldn't they just come out of any hole?
They were probably on.
He's just standing there on the planet staring down Matanui, and then all of a sudden, he just spews Rakshi from his nose.
Yeah.
Doctor, I think I may
Like a waterfall of Rakshi from his nostril.
Doctor, I think I may be.
And he just stands there, just intimidate. No, he does a Slavic crouch and just like blasts Rakshi from his nose.
Doctor,
just to intimidate Matanui.
Doctor, I think I may be a homosexual. How can you tell?
You better animate that, by the way.
No!
You better animate that, Curtis. Just fucking crouching Matanui in sweatpants in a fucking tracksuit, or Makuta crouching in a tracksuit, spewing Rakshi from his nose.
So the
that's the intro animation.
the comics and the commercials made it seem like the Rakshi that would invade Barra Magna were only the yellow ones, but according to the books, no, it is mostly the yellow ones for some reason. But no, it really is a rainbow of Rakshi spewing out of his ankles.
Yep.
That's quite a sentence.
Well, you were the one who's. It's like, don't give me any credit. You were the one that said, this reminds me of my nose. There's no topping that. You've won the podcast.
So, anyway, Nexan and his army of Skakti boys, they notice all the Rakshi going, and they're like, well, I guess we work for Makuta now, let's follow them. And they do.
Yep. Basically, Makuta's all like, hey, if you work for me, you get to punch some rock monsters and...
Yeah.
Other Lego references. I don't. Those were like the earliest Big Figs as we know them. So I don't think there's much comparable to Punch in the Face.
So anyway,
you remember Belleville? You want to go punch some Barbie wannabes? Let's go.
So back to Brainland.
Homemakers!
You know what? I just a random thought that occurred to me. It's completely unrelated when I was going through the art channel on the Beaverhouse server. Why is there not a horror convention called the Necronomicon?
Huh. There's gotta be one. Hasn't there?
I'll Google it.
Okay.
What about the Necronomicon? For cat?
It looks like there is, yeah.
Cats. What about the Neko WaferCon? What about the Neko WaffleCon? For Neko Wafers.
Oh, and it's in Providence, Rhode Island, which is where H.P. Lovecraft lived.
Neat.
What about the Nekonomicon, the con exclusively for shippers of Neko Robin and Nami from One Piece?
What about Communism, the convention for communists?
What about Kanye West?
No, it's just a ye now.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I came up with a lot more mileage out of this joke than I imagined, but this is dead. This is dead. We're all gonna die.
So, back in Brainland, Artaka's like, "It's me. Everybody stop fighting. I'm the big boy."
Yeah, Artaka shows
So
up.
Artaka
and-
just storms in out of a portal. He leaves his island for the first time in like 100,000 years, just to call all these random people morons.
Well, they're not necessarily
Well, they were about to
random,
blow up
'cause
the whole universe, so-
according to the book, these are the most powerful beings in the universe, and Artaka...
Including Hafu and Kapura.
Well, I have a headcanon about Kapura, so that, I guess I'll explain it now. I have a headcanon that Kapura eventually becomes the guardian of the Mask of Time, and he becomes a Toa, and he uses the Mask of Time, and because he uses it indefinitely, because he's the guy now, he basically has always had a mastery of it, and that's why he is a slow boy who's also fast.
Yeah.
That
Speaking of the Mask of Time, doesn't that one Dark Hunter just, have it now?
Yep. Greg
Yeah.
never did anything with it. That was the last time we'll ever see it.
Oh, dear.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so all the foreshadowing I've done about having this master headcanon about the Mask of Time, that's it. Kapura basically is the Toa of Time.
Neat.
If I was involved in the continuation of Bionicle, that's what I would do. Now that I've read Kapura's actual characterization in the books, I'm a little hesitant now, because Kapura's a fucking idiot, as Greg writes him.
Maybe he's only pretending to be an idiot.
You know what? That is true. He basically just wants to fit in, so he pretends to be what people want him to be. And Matoran are usually stupid, so he's all like, right, I will be a stupid. Her name is Tuyet. She is cool. I love sponges. Is that what babies say? Is that what babies...
What?
Is that...
What?
Is that what... I love...
What the fuck?
I love...
I love sponges.
Is
What
that
the hell is wrong with you?
I love sponges. Is that what babies
Shut
say?
the fuck up.
Is that what
No.
babies say? Is it?
Never say that again.
So Artaka, he yeets Trencron back into his own body,
Because he can
like
just
5
do that.
minutes after he got his body.
'Cause-
And Leia's back now. And Pterodax is like, "Oh, hey guys, in my brain, don't think I didn't notice you," and
And then
yeets
he
them all into
just
space.
yeets them all into space. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of everything in my body that's strong. That's not gonna lead to problems with my health.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, all the most powerful antibodies in my body, in my bloodstream. Those are just in space. I'm just gonna fart those out. Yeah. That's not gonna lead to problems. I'm pretty sure the sub-great spirits inside the robot were like supposed to be in charge of various functions of the robot. That the robot they're basically omnipotent, whoever's in charge of that robot, but it's a big robot. You can't monitor all of it.
It's a big salad.
There's an SCP, because there's always an SCP, of this guy who achieved 100% control of his brain function, and turns out that's a bad thing. Because, you know the joke about manually breathing? He's got to manually everything. He's bedridden constantly, and he needs to be awake at all times and just watching medical instruction tapes to figure out how to keep breathing and keep his blood flowing and keep all this other bullshit. And it would sure be easy if there were some autonomous functions of my body. Oh no, I better fling them into space.
I guess that's what Makuta's doing right now.
Like I interpret the reason the prototype robot exploded was because there was nobody inside the robot maintaining it.
I mean, that and the fact that it was pretty busted to begin with.
It was pretty busted to begin with, so it's like reanimating a corpse, but without any of the, organs or blood or anything.
It's like reanimating a corpse, but with a nuclear reactor.
It's like reanimating a corpse with a nuclear reactor, but there's nothing inside of it, so you're basically, it's filled with air and it'll crumble to dust if you sneeze at it.
Speaking of which, that's what Matanui does, like, right now. He awakens his prototype body. And he's like, it's me.
So he can just sense that Makuta is, like, on his way and is going to be here in, like, a few minutes, and that now is the time to do this, and that he's worried it won't work, but it does, because apparently, even when he's in the Mask of Life was supposed to trap him. Fucking Makuta became God and trapped him in this thing, but apparently Matanui could have just left whenever he wanted. You can just astral project into a robot.
Yeah. This is the first time he's had the opportunity to.
I mean, he could have done it at any time, but I guess he didn't want to.
Yeah, but what else would he astral project into?
Yeah, exactly. His Gatorian body was pretty badass. Yeah. I like to imagine that if he ever does just hang out with his blood cells again, he's just gonna look like that again. Might as well.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I would take the shoulder armor and put it in different places, though. It's really cumbersome and stupid.
So, anyway, he does awaken, and he's in this big old robot body, and he's like, hey guys, I can still talk to you even though I'm millions and millions of feet away. I guess the speed of sound is a lot higher on Bara Magna.
Well, that and magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was right. The robots are able to manipulate... They're basically able to shoot the forces of nature within them. Like, Makuta, fires gravity out of his hands in places of this book.
Yeah.
It's like, hi guys! You're right! You do look like bugs, but you know me! I like bugs! I keep a pet beetle! He turns into a nice shield sometimes, but that's not important! The important thing is the friends we made along the way. Oh, look, my brother's here. I gotta hang out with my brother, guys. He's a real dick.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway.
And then the scene from the Steven Universe Battle of Heart and Mind where Obsidian forms and it's super badass, and the giant robot. Oh, hey, there's a giant robot in that. Oh. And then the giant robot appears and its fucking foot is bigger than Obsidian. So, well, alright. Obsidian gets the job done, though, just like prototype shithead.
Okay.
Obsidian gets the job done and falls apart in the process. Oh.
So,
Rebecca
but anyway,
Sugar
before we
must
get
have
to
been
that
a
point,
Binkles fan.
But before we get to that point, we're gonna check up on the Toamari. See what they're doing these days.
I forgot they were in this.
The ones who are still alive, anyway.
They're apparently they're still alive.
So they're spying on some Skakti. Trying to see what happened to the Paraka, and also why are all these Skakti going south, huh? And they spy on some, and the Skakti are just like, oh, let's get this big old pot of energized protodermis and throw a Zyglak into it, and also a Vortex, and also a Cracker, and also some Paraka, the ones that are still alive.
So, there's another recipe again. I'm sorry
Josie.
I'm doing this. I just, it'll make sense. So, here's what happens here. Because this is like, they talk about it, and the other characters, the Mari who are watching are like, this don't make sense. All these random guys here, they're throwing into a pot. What's it gonna do? It's because Makuta was like, right, so I'm going to scan through the entire universe and find out exactly the right order of nonsense will create basically the full realization of Urnok the Nightmare Beast.
The gold skin being is not Urnok.
No, Liam, you say that, but you want to know something, Liam? They're the same thing, Liam.
Pretty much.
They're not.
I know
Liam,
it's not like
they're a
Ernak
golden
in canon,
Paraka.
but
They're a golden Paraka combiner that manipulates dreams and is a nightmare beast.
Really not a Paraka combiner. It has, like, the spines of the 6 Paraka, but it's primarily going to be made of, like, Vortex and Steltians.
Hey, Liam. Hey, Liam.
Yeah?
Hey, Liam, guess what?
What?
Guess what?
What?
You're an idiot. And I love
Explain.
you. You're an idiot, and I love you.
Explain.
Okay, Liam.
Explain.
Urnok was a being created from the Paraka's interpretation of the Urnok legend.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the Urnok legend was just a legend, a myth. It wasn't real. The Goldskin being is basically exactly what the Skakti, as a collective, wanted Urnok to be.
But since when does Urnok have, like, mind-jacking powers and shit?
Liam, the Paraka were uncreative and stupid. And their visions were imperfect and gave birth...
Regardless, they are canonically different beings.
Yes, Liam,
Yeah.
yes they are. They are canonically different beings that
But
are
they could be based on the same concept.
that are basically the same thing.
Like,
If you say so.
yeah.
I
Imagine
don't
like
say
two
so.
different cultures' interpretations of, I don't know, some mythical figure, like God, for example. You got two different religions. They worship the same God, but they interpret it in different ways. It's kind of like that.
I didn't know anything about the Goldskin being until one day I looked it up and I was reading it and I'm like, this is fucking Urnok. This is fucking Urnok again. Oh look, he has a real name, but he has a name that he thinks of himself as, but he doesn't want to tell people it. Oh, what's that about? Oh, what that? You know what? It's probably Urnok.
I don't think the golden-skinned being is literally Urnok, because Urnok
Isn't real.
does not literally exist, but I think the similarities between Urnok and how this golden-skinned being are described are a little too similar for it to just be a coincidence that
Yep.
the Paraka combined into a golden Paraka with weird mind powers,
Yep.
who has a name that it won't tell anyone.
Yep, it's absolutely just completely Liam is an idiot, and I love him.
Anyway, so
Liam, you are my friend, and I love you.
I think he's angry.
that's the end of that. Okay. So another thing about this gold-skinned being, it also has some antidermis in it. Nobody notices that, and I don't think it makes much of a difference, but there's some antidermis in there.
Wait, I thought that was Zactan.
Was it?
No, Zaktan's the only.
I'm pretty sure it said antidermis.
No,
It just said a green cloud, and let's see.
I don't know where.
Wait, isn't Zaktan dead though? Like
No.
completely dead?
No,
He's supposed to be, but yeah, according to BSO1, that is Zactan.
Oh, okay.
Or just like the
So-
remaining bits of him, I guess.
I've read that he is still alive, but maybe I read different stuff. Basically, if that wasn't all of Zaktan, then that was at least some of him.
Okay.
Because Zaktan was like, well, I basically don't exist. I want to continue to exist in some form. I want to be this guy. This guy sounds
Alright,
cool.
I got
That's
it, lads. According to Greg, due to his nature, Zactan survived as fragments of his substance at the molecular level and was eventually able to piece together a small portion of his being.
So he's just
And
very small
he
now.
jumped in the pot, yeah.
Okay.
So
Sure.
Zactan's basically the Infinity Stones.
Yes.
Sure.
No, he's like oh, what's his name? Fuck, from Hunter x Hunter, the King Ant's guard.
According to the writers, according to the MCU, Marvel Studios, whoever the fuck said it, the Infinity Stones are a fundamental aspect of the universe. The actual stones themselves were a manifestation, but Thanos annihilating them in Endgame, spoilers, didn't really make them cease to exist. It just made them it just made them harder to manipulate.
Yeah.
And they'll eventually recoalesce into existence.
Yeah. So anyway.
What was I talking about? Zactan?
Zactan.
Yeah.
Fucking yep, Zactan. In the Paraka rap, he was called the Snake.
Cool.
Which is
So,
ironic, because he was then the only one who was not a snake.
No, they were all
yeah.
snakes. They were all snakes.
Well, I mean, they were at some point, but then at the end, he was a cloud and all the other ones were snakes.
Yeah. Clouds
That's
aren't
pretty cool.
Clouds aren't snakes.
So anyway.
Clouds
So the,
aren't snakes.
So the brain gang, I don't know what to call them, the cool guys who got teleported out of the brain, they're just figuring out, well, what do we do? Liwa makes a bubble of air around all of them.
Yep, Liwa did some quick JoJo bullshit. He was like, right, I'm in space. I literally shouldn't have any concept of what's going on right now, but I know exactly what to do. But he's quick on his feet. He's quick on his feet in the space air.
Yeah, so he creates air bubbles around all of them so they can breathe, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, and then they're all like, alright, so, what do? We are the most powerful beings in the universe, but the universe is
You know what I
flying
want
away.
to point out? If trying to think for a second, if what was it, Artaka hadn't had the inkling to yeet Tren Krom out of Liwa's mind, then they'd all be dead.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yep, they would all be dead.
I'm sure Artaka would have had the power to do something to save them. We don't really know the full extent of what he's capable of.
Well, apparently
And he seems to just be capable of whatever he wants.
Apparently he's
Also,
not
it should be worth noting that apparently the biological components of Matoran universe inhabitants don't work the same way as ours by any stretch of the imagination. Otherwise, they would still be dead because the vacuum of space would have completely fucking obliterated their innards.
Yeah.
Anyway, so more JoJo references. These are the most powerful beings in the Matoran universe. They are utterly powerless to get back to Earth through space. Cars.
Yeah.
Basically, this uber vampire is basically a god now. Just fling him into space, and what's he gonna do? You don't have a jetpack.
But anyway, so they talk to Artaka, and Artaka's like, well, I guess I could teleport us, but it's really risky because we're really far away.
We're really far away, and I don't know what's down there or where it is.
Yeah.
So we
could teleport
into
into the ground or something. Don't want to do that.
It's not
But
like
then again, imminent death is upon us.
it's not like you can Steven Universe lion your way in there and just portal your way in incrementally closer to the planet so you can actually look where you're going.
Lol, no.
Or,
But anyway, thankfully they don't have to think too
know,
hard about this.
Use
Because
use
Vizon decides to do it for them.
Use Liwa to add rockets to the bubble.
Lol.
Or,
but yeah, like I said, they don't have to think about it too hard because Vizon just does it for them.
Yep.
And teleports them into the Mad Great Beings Chamber.
Destiny or whatever.
Yay. I guess that'll be important in the epilogue, probably.
I legit have
'Cause
no
they-
idea.
I think they
have-
mention it once or twice,
I
maybe.
legit have no idea where this is going, and I don't know if Greg did either.
So, yeah, all these people are just in the place with the guy who makes everything around him alive.
Yep, the most powerful
including light itself.
The most powerful beings in a universe meet the creator of the universe. It's poetic or something.
And also the stupidest being in the universe.
Like, I'm gonna make a thing that... Oh, wait, you're talking about Liwa.
No, Vizon.
Oh. Or you could have also been talking about this, about Greg's version of Krupura.
Yeah.
But there's three options here. There's option A, there's option B, there's option A. I'm gonna make a thing that curses people and pick it up. Oh fuck, it cursed me.
Yeah. So anyway, remember the Shadowed One? I remember the Shadowed One. He had a plan.
Oh yeah.
He had a plan to use those virus things on Pterodax.
Yeah.
But, like, that didn't happen. Because he's gone. Something killed him and a bunch of Vortex.
Oh, gee, I wonder what. It's not like the universe is alive and angry.
Yeah. And so Prydak is just marching on Metro Nui. He's just like, I'm just gonna attack it. Shadowed One is gonna do his thing. I'm just gonna attack Metro Nui.
So nice, by the way, that they killed him off screen.
Yeah.
Uncle Shark,
Oh well.
Josie, I swear to God.
Uncle Shark.
Uncle Shark, do do
This is gonna be the last.
Uncle
This is
Shark,
gonna be the last.
You are not immune from my wrath just because I like you.
This has gotten to be the last opportunity I ever have to talk about sharks again.
So.
Yeah, because this Predac stuff goes nowhere.
Everyone knows sharks are extinct, and there's never going to be a time that anyone in history will ever have to acknowledge the existence of sharks ever again after this podcast. Shark Week is officially canceled.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, fuck you, Donald Trump. Everything you love is gone.
So,
Rot in
the
jail.
goldskin being, it emerges from its pot of energized protodermis and instantly brainwashes everyone around. Skakti worships it. The Mari worship it. And everybody loves it. Yeah.
Everybody loves it. Obey the Hypnotoad.
Yes. Then, let's see. So, Matanui. He's in his big old robot body. He's got a few minutes before Makuta arrives, so he's like, right, I'm gonna try and do the gravity thing. So he points his arms up at the moons and says, Poru!
Get over here.
And
Get over here!
It works a little bit. You know, it's tough, but he's doing it.
Yeah,
And then Makuta crashes the party.
And then Makuta crashes the party. Hold on. Let's see. And then Matanui's all like, no, 3 must become 1! I'm gonna shout that at you as if you know what the fuck that means.
But I do like Makuta's line when he drops it, and he's just like, what a family reunion this is, or something like that.
How does Makuta know what a family is?
Yeah, I was about to say,
have...
do family reunions exist in this universe?
Wait, he's the only one who can have kids, actually. So
I like to think that that Makuta is. I don't know. I can't really correlate how in my brain this would work, but I like to think that Makuta understands what a family dynamic is and considers Akmu like a son. Like the word father, the word father never occurs in Bionicle. I like to think that Makuta might be the only character in Bionicle that could be interpreted as a father figure to anybody. Anyway, so Motonui basically gives the Steven Universe the movie change speech to Spinel, to Makuta. It's all like, says, you can make an effort, we don't have to fight, and you...
Okay, you can stop now.
You can punch me in the face.
Yeah. And that's
He
what he
literally
does.
says we don't have to fight, and Makuta's all like, fuck...
Bitch, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I'm Stitch Fix.
So yeah, the two of them going at it, and back on the ground level, we got the Glatorian. Gresh is like, "Oh, I want to help them. I want to do something." Gresh, you're not a big robot.
Should we
You can't do
something?
anything.
Should we
do something?
Should we do something to those unimaginably gigantic things that we can only even identify as humanoid figures because we're hundreds of thousands of miles away? Should we do something?
Gresh is a moron.
Yeah.
Like,
Kina's, Kina brings it back down to earth. She's like, "Look, let's figure out what's going on first, and maybe make a plan."
Legit. If there was a giant robot this big, this unimaginably big, and you were standing next to it, you would not know it's a robot. You would not.
You'd just see a massive block of metal going straight up, and you'd be like, "Oh, what is this?"
You would never be able to like we figured out what the shape of the Earth was centuries before we could even look at it because we're good at math. If you're stupid, you would just think the Earth was flat. Oh wait, people think that because they're stupid. Because a big circle, you put a thing on a big enough circle, it's gonna just sit there because, hey, look at that. If a shape is big enough, it's gonna be flat. It's gonna feel flat in some places.
So, Makuta, he's staring down at Manui. He's like, "Join me. We can rule the universe as father and son, or brother and brother, or whatever.
Whatever the fuck our dynamic is, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird for Cancer to think of itself as the brother of the host, but that's what our thing is. We're the Cancer brothers.
Yeah, and
we
then
remember
Masumi's
it,
like,
so
"No,
you don't have
you
to."
join me, and we can fix things together. Yay!"
Like, nah, that's gay, bitch.
Makuta just slaps him.
Slaps him.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's described in the book. He just slaps him and makes him fall over.
I'm essentially the most powerful being that could ever conceivably exist. I'm just gonna bitch slap you.
Yeah.
I can shoot 17 different elemental forces of nature out of my hands. I'm just gonna bitch slap you.
Yep.
I can manipulate time, physics, life itself. Just gonna bitch slap you.
And then he lifts a mountain.
He lifts a mountain, which is considerably more impressive than a bitch slap. But just like this battle,
just to threaten the Glatorian, basically.
This fight is really cool. There's no.
Oh yeah, the mountain thing. I remember laughing my ass off while I was reading this because it's basically the equivalent of I don't know if you've seen in cartoons, but when the kid drips snot out of their nose and then sucks it back up to torment someone else.
Yep. Somebody, it was someone finally moved a mountain or lifted an island.
Yep.
Someone finally did it. You can build a bus in a big tow truck. You can build a mountain.
Josie, what the fuck are you on about?
If you build it brick by brick.
And then we get to Mata Nui's click phobia.
Oh, yeah. I didn't write that down in my notes, but yeah.
What?
At some point, Matanui's like, "Makuta, you're nothing but an insect. And on Barra Magno, we know what to do with insects."
Yeah. That annoyed me.
I think that's
wasn't thinking when they wrote that.
I think he might be just quoting something or someone.
He probably is, but it doesn't fit his character, so it sticks out.
Earl, right now he's very desperate. His body is literally crumbling, and he thinks he's going to crumble with it. He's really not sure, because this has literally never happened in this reality. So he's like, he genuinely believes he's going to die with the body, because to be completely honest, it is an asshole that his soul can return to the mask of life because it's bonded to it. Or whatever.
Yeah. But,
And frankly,
anyway.
a robot that qualifies as a universe, falling on it should be able to break something even as powerful as the MacGuffin of life.
I mean, it's literally stated that Makuta was just gonna crush it by stepping on it, so I don't see why his entire body weight falling on it suddenly wouldn't do that as well.
Yeah, just... But, maybe it is just indestructible. Like, it is life itself. It can't be destroyed. It can only be...
And yet it got cracked by a fish person on his
I
knee.
I interpreted that as it takes on the form of the universe itself, and the universe was dying, so it was dying.
I guess.
Because that would be like why it changes from shiny to black.
Yeah.
Have you seen customs that people have made of what it looks like, of what dead Mask of Life looks like? People like make it have like infected textures, and it's really neat. It's really weathered and shit. I like it.
I want to see those sometime.
I'll get it.
Okay. So, anyway, that mountain that Makuta lifted, imagine he, like, shoots a laser at it and vaporizes it so that it doesn't fall on the guys.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And he just completely disintegrates it and doesn't leave any crumbs to fall on someone.
Yep. No residual pieces to fall and kill people.
I mean,
none whatsoever.
I mean, these people are really wearing universes. They're powerful enough to just do this shit. I mean, we can joke about them causing all sorts of chaos they aren't intending to, but like, they have the power to just decide not to.
I mean, okay, power is one thing, precision is another. Like, he had to fire a laser that's powerful enough to vaporize a mountain, but also controlled enough to not vaporize the people under the mountain.
And also not superheat the air and create a fucking enormous plasma explosion.
Yes, but consider this. He got a refresher course on his backstory and supposedly remembers how to do this now.
I guess.
Whereas Makuta is an idiot and purposely trying to fuck shit up.
Oh yeah, speaking of Matanui's backstory, at some point Tahu is just like, oh yeah, we're in a giant robot, and the robot got punched. And I'm like, when did Tahu learn this? I don't think it's ever been established to him that he's in a giant robot.
I think Makuta literally told everyone in the universe that it was a robot.
I'm pretty sure he just said, I am the universe, you're mine. I don't think he ever said it was a robot.
I like to just imagine that he just told people arrogantly, like, I am the universe, and even if I wasn't the universe, I'd still be a giant robot. And they were like, what the fuck are you on about? Are we a robot?
I'd imagine that someone in the Order of Matanui told everyone about the robot.
Do the Order members know?
They know pretty much everything, I think. Huh. At least all the secret stuff that no one else knows.
Yeah, well, they didn't know about this until they did.
I guess. Anyway. So Makuta's taunting Matanui's like, yeah, you know, if you hit me, you'll probably kill some of the guys inside, and you don't want to do that, right?
Little does he know that some of the guys inside are trying to die.
And little does he know that Matanui does sort of care, but also kind of not right at the end.
It's better to die than be miserable.
Anyway. So Gresh is like, I'm gonna find a way inside that thing and smash him up from the inside. So he rides off the, several thousand miles towards its foot. But oh no, Rakshi and Skakti coming out of it.
Oh, yep. Back on my notes. Nektan sees it and is all like, wow, this place sucks. It did not look like a very appealing place, Nektan, but Nektan hoped that some other region, perhaps to the north. There's some other region,
Why would he assume the north is better?
A Bara Magna having cool stuff in the north is basically a running gag now.
Yeah. And anyway, it's at this point where I realized the conservation of ninjutsu thing that really hit the Rakshi hard. Remember when Rakshi were threatening? When there was like 6 of them?
Yeah, it's like stormtroopers in reverse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at this
no-
point it just makes the TuragaNuva look like dumb idiots.
Yeah,
it's
now there's
just-
thousands, and Gresh, who only recently got his powers, is blowing them away by the bucket load.
Yeah, it's like the stormtroopers in Star Wars, but in reverse. Like in the original trilogies, they were jokes. In the prequels, they got slightly more developed, and then in the sequel trilogy, like we're seeing why people are so fucking terrified of them.
I think it has something to do with the fact that the Rakshi we saw in Matanui had like more abstract powers, like fear and anger and things they could just use to like manipulate the Toa.
Yep.
While the yellow Rakshi have a much more just like tangible, straightforward combat power.
Yeah,
Which,
Makuta was trying to be a pretentious little dickhead. Now he's pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
It's like
Although it does say at some point that these are stronger than the Rakshi on Matanui.
that true.
Oh.
That is true. Like
Like
but,
TuragaNuva can't just vaporize them.
it's kind of like I think we were talking about why the Borak why the green Borak is acid and not air, like all the other ones are. But it's because they needed to break. The Borak were designed to break stuff, and acid is more destructive than air.
I guess.
It's like you can kill people with air, but they weren't designed to kill people. They were designed to kill boogers.
So
Eh.
anyway.
Oh, hold on.
So-
Can we put the podcast on hold? The thing I needed to do for a minute is happening.
Oh, okay.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to
What's up, my homos?
Close
Accurate.
enough.
So anyway, TuragaNuva can shoot holograms from his fingertips.
Hold on, we're not there yet.
Now, TuragaNuva cannot shoot holograms from his fingertips.
Now, we're at the point where Gresh meets the Toa. He's like, "Hey, you." And
Hey,
Targa's like,
you came from
"You
the
look
robot.
stupid."
Hey, you came from the robot. Hey, you didn't come from the robot. Let's fight.
Except
Oh.
let's not. Let's be friends.
Oh, we both hate the robot. Okay, let's do it.
Yay. And then Tahu enters a trance.
And then
I mean, to be fair, Gresh was actually justified in this situation. They just attacked a random fucking foreigner for no reason.
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, yeah,
Like-
because they assumed
They were in the wrong.
they didn't. It's like yeah. Well, to be fair,
I mean,
he
just look at Gresh. You can tell he's a good guy.
yeah. Just look at him. He's covered in spikes.
He's green.
He liked
Yeah,
green.
exactly.
He liked green.
Everybody likes green.
Yep. So yeah, Tahu enters a trance because the Mask of Life is all like, "Hey, I'm in control of my whole deal for the first time in a week. So Cthulhu told me, hey, I'm gonna de-evolve you now.
Cthulhu instant messaged me on Skype.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skype. We're not even using Skype. Why would you say Skype?
Well, it was 2010.
Oh
9
yeah.
even.
Oh shit. You're
And
right.
Crom used an @everyone on his Discord server.
AOL Instant Messenger, MSN Messenger, Facebook.
I think MSN was more the time. Like, AOL was kind of like 2004.
Yeah.
Why do all of these things to be called Messenger?
Because
So
you
know what it
message on them.
does. Yeah.
Why would
You message.
anybody need to know what it does? It's not like I deliberately avoided talking about Discord for months until I recognized that it was mainstream and people knew what the fuck it was.
Yeah, if it's not called Messenger, then how do you know how to message?
I was being
Yeah.
sarcastic. I was being facetious. By the way, that's exactly what I did. I used to talk basically when I talk to people who don't use the internet, I say Skype. But what I mean is anything in the fucking universe except that pile of steaming trash that Microsoft ruined the second they looked at it.
I mean, at least you don't have to type in fucking codes to find your friends.
Oh yeah,
That's the one good thing it has going for it.
You're right. Nintendo. What the fuck?
Nintendo.
They have
Oh, friend codes.
They have
they
friend
have
codes.
They have stupid codes too.
Mm.
So I
Stupid,
have,
ridiculous, like
yeah.
16-digit codes.
Yeah,
that,
if I
like,
want- if I
how
wanna-
the fuck are you meant to remember that?
If I want to send pictures of my tits to Chip, I have to type at Chip number fucking 69, 69, 40, 20, 25. I can't
Yeah.
just type at Chip.
I mean, it's only like 4 numbers.
Yeah, it's only like 4 numbers and 2 titties, and they're not even good titties.
Yeah, but if you've already got, like, the username, why can't you find it from just that? Just give us a list
Yeah.
of...
I swear to God, I've had that work sometimes, but it only works sometimes. If there's no one else in the server with the name, it should just default to that name.
I mean, it does, doesn't it?
No,
Moving along.
Anyway, so
We were talking about Bionicle at one
technical
point.
discussion of the mechanics of Discord.
So Tahu Vision, he's seeing the Mask of Life, and the Mask of Life is like, here, have all the knowledge in the universe just to prove that I'm the real Mask of Life.
And here,
And also, you're not a Pokemon anymore. You're basic.
Yeah. And then Tahu's all like, "You've ruined me." He literally says, "You've ruined me."
Yeah.
And then the Mask is all like, "No. According to Cthulhu, this shit is actually way more powerful."
Yeah, see, the thing is, this golden armor, it was designed for your normal body, and now you've got, like, muscles and things. We can't have that. Get rid of them.
Look, you're not shiny enough. We need to make you shinier.
Yes. Oh my god, is this why G2 Tahu has so much gold on him? Because this Tahu got golden armor.
Yeah.
Probably. Yep.
But anyway, yes, this golden armor, it's really cool. Be careful with it, Tahu. And then it explodes.
And then, even though it's the most powerful thing in the universe, in one of the most powerful beings in the universe, it doesn't beam the armor directly onto him. It shoots it randomly all over the planet.
Well, it shoots it near him, and then a blast from Makuta scatters it everywhere.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Makuta scatters the armor, a Rakshi grabs a piece, Tahu grabs a piece, TuragaNuva grabs a piece, and...
Yeah, everyone
the-
individually
Probably not
goes,
a
I have
marketing
no
gimmick."
idea what this is, but it's shiny, so I want it.
This is the
Yeah.
most blatant. This is the most blatant Bionicle ever got with its product placement, which is just very impressive for a toy franchise. That this is the most blatant toy commercial.
I
Even
think
a
the Kanohi and 2001 that we were supposed to collect 30 copies of was pretty blatant.
But see, that's the thing though. It's not really product placement if it's cool. This is
And
stupid.
that was also integrated into the story first and
Yeah.
foremost. This is just like, oh hey, we have these super special pieces of gold-colored armor. How do we make this work with the plot?
Basically,
Yeah.
the entirety of Bionicle Stars as a concept exists within 30 fucking pages of Bionicle.
Yeah,
That
so...
reminds me, I don't
Yeah.
think Levi knows what Bionicle Stars is.
He
Well,
does
now
what
he
else-
fucking
well,
does,
Let's
bitch!
spare him.
So, I will
Spare
explain.
him
So,
this agony.
no, he must know.
No, he must know. He must know our pain.
So, Levi, to summarize, at the end of Bionicle, the line got cancelled, right? In the tail end of 2009, and
Yeah.
the designers worked really hard. They pushed Lego to let them release one final wave of toys,
And they fucked it
and
up.
this wave was the Bionicle Stars, basically a celebration of all previous Bionicle years.
And they fucked it
And
up.
it was just, yeah, they kind of fucked it up, but it was 6 toys that represented, different parts of the Bionicle story. So you got Tahu, there they are. You got Tahu, TuragaNuva, a Gresh, I mean.
Grass.
Arakshi.
I like
You got
Gresh.
Arakshi.
Grass. Gresh's name is Grass now because it is. His name actually literally
Moving
is
along.
Yes, and a
Grass!
Skrull. And Nektan, who was just called Paraka because I guess they hadn't cleared the name Nektan for a toy yet, and they just wanted to call it Paraka.
And
each
all
one
of these use the Avmatoran build.
yes, which has no knees and no elbows, and all the joints break, and I don't like them.
Yep. This.
But anyway, each one came with a piece of golden armor. You could put them all on Tahu. That's how. And then they worked it into the story. So there you go.
Yep. It's and,
Coincidentally, this was also the first Bionicle wave that I bought entirely with my own money.
me too.
Neat.
This was also the first Bionicle wave that I bought the entirety of in years.
Now show him Gardas!
It's so.
Oh god.
No.
Oh no. We will talk about Gardas.
We will talk
later.
about Gardas when we meet Gardas. It's probably going to be the last new Bionicle character we meet. Oh god, I just realized I think Gardas may actually be the last canon G1 character that was created.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll talk about Gardas.
Yeah, I hate it. Just Bionicle Stars,
anyway.
the celebration of Bionicle, two objectively inferior versions of sets from the previous year. Two!
Yeah.
2009 should have had no representation in Bionicle Stars, and it had 2 out of 6.
Yeah. It was a bit much having Gresh and a Skrull.
Gresh
Yeah.
and a Skrull. I mean, if you're gonna have 2009 sets, those are the 2 that I guess are most... No! Just
They
no!
were all over the posters.
They could have made a bow rock!
Yeah, they could have.
They
but
could have
I
done
guess
a
that
lot
wouldn't
of
really work in
things.
the story.
They
Why
could-
not? They were unleashed by fucking, what's his name? Krakua.
Yeah, that's true.
I put a
Anyway.
thing in the chat with my my words.
Yeah, Yeah, I guess they could have made some better ones, like Helrix and Bizom.
Yeah, just
Oh well.
fucking Nektan. This is the first set of Nektan. What the fuck?
It just looks like a baby Vizok.
And Greg
I actually think the Nektan set, I mean, I don't like that it's so small, but I think it actually looks okay.
yeah, I like
Okay,
it.
like the face design, that's pretty cool.
Look,
I like
it
it.
is very look. There isn't a single Bionicle product I can think. There isn't a single Lego product I can think of off the top of my head that I genuinely despise. It takes a lot out of me to be hard on any Lego product. Bionicle Stars, I love it. I love Bionicle Stars. I just am so exasperated by how much potential they wasted.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway,
For
so back to the
fuck's
story.
sake, they created a new mold for the Rakshi to make an inferior fucking Rakshi.
I mean, they made a new mold for Tahu's mask, which is just slightly smaller and has a pin connector.
Yeah, because they didn't make the
Yeah.
old head anymore. But see, the Rakshi, if they had just used the old parts, they would have saved some money. But instead, they made a new part to make it worse.
If they used the old parts, though, the part count for the sets would have been significantly higher, and I think they were restricted to the
I hate it.
small TM set size.
I hate it. I
Oh well.
Hate.
So, back to the story. Gresh grabs a piece of golden armor from a Skrull. He just sees it and he grabs it using the windy thing that he does.
Yep.
Neat. TuragaNuva crunches some Rakshi with a hologram. He's like, oh, look, it's a decoy me. And then the Rakshi shoot their heat vision at it and kill each
Oh,
other.
fuck.
It's worth noting, by the way, that all of these story pieces are represented by actually really nice stop-motion videos that were made at
Yes.
the time. And
That-
they're
that is
some of the
true.
first official Bionicle videos that are all in full 1080p HD.
That's right.
TuragaNuva basically canonizes the way the Mahiki works in Legend of Madanui, which we didn't know about at the time.
Neat.
Like, he does the thing that it do.
Here it is from the original creator. So, Levi, you can watch that while we're doing this, I guess.
Or after
Okay.
we're done, because we have more to talk about.
I mean,
that
there's
is
no voiceover, so...
That's true. So, yeah, if you just tell me when you hit play
Anyway,
on
and
that.
then TuragaNuva
Yeah.
and
Okay.
Tahu are
3,
all like,
2,
Fresh,
1,
the armor, we need it. Alright, take it. What's it for? We don't know. That's not a paraphrase. That's what it was. The armor, we need it. Alright, take it. What's it for? We don't know. Oh my god.
Also, I love how they actually, like... They modified the original sets to make this stop motion. Like, the knees and everything bend, so they would have had to, like, break them and then put them back together with metal.
Yeah, Lego, they make a big stink about modifying pieces, but they don't really care. They just don't want to sell things to children that break. So they tell people not to modify pieces, but they don't. All prototype products are made by jerry-rigging shit together. Like, the original, the Wii U gamepad was just a tablet with Wii remote strapped to it. Literally. With tape.
So, so Tahu, he's fighting Nektan to get another one of those armor pieces. And Nektan's, doing that thing that villains do where they taunt the heroes. They're like, oh, I bet you could beat me, one-on-one fights. Throw down your weapon and punch me or something.
And then Tahu's
like, no, that's stupid.
I'm not gonna fall for that. The reason the alt-right is always winning all the time is because they expect us to fight better than them. Well, fuck that! I want to win for once!
Yeah, he just melts him.
Yeah!
He just straight up melts him.
Fuck you! I don't want to fight fair anymore!
He does leave him alive though, which is almost worse perhaps. Now that he's just a puddle on the ground.
He's still talking. He's a very angry boy. He's just fighting smartly.
But yeah, so he does that. Let's see. And then, so while this is happening, Makuta is trying to throw a gravity blast at the planet. He's thinking, yeah, I could just destroy it right now and go somewhere else. And Matanui's like, no, don't do that, and punches his arm, redirects the gravity bomb at the moons, and just so happens to set them back on course towards the planet.
Yep, Makuta, the guy who plans for every eventuality, that's kind of his whole deal. He's like evil Batman, can be easily thwarted by just slapping his arm and pushing him in places.
Yeah, by the way, I'm just going over the animation again. Like, if you look at very specific points, like 25 seconds in, you can actually see, like, the pins that they put in Tahu's shoulder and his legs to reattach the parts. And it's actually kind of cool. From the looks of his arm, it looks like they completely split the arm into two pieces and then used the armor shell as a point of articulation so that they could put the two pieces back together. Because again, at 25 seconds, if you look, the two halves of his arm aren't even one part anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if the
pretty neat.
Wouldn't it be cool if the toys actually worked like this? But no, they fucked it up.
And you can also sort of see the edge of a metal pin in the knee.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if some
Oh, well.
Bionicle parts were die-cast? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool?
Anyway.
You know what? Everything sucks.
So, Matanui, he punched Makuta to get the moons back on their course towards the planet, and that used up most of his remaining power, so he's just sort of crumpling onto the floor, being like, oh no, what do I do now? Tahu puts on all... Oh yeah, and now Tahu puts on all the golden armor. He grabs it from Gresh. Gresh doesn't know what the hell is going on.
Yep.
And, and he puts it all on, and it does something to all the Rakshi, and, absorbs their power into him?
Yep, so that's apparently what it does, is it annihilates all evil, and...
So, presumably only... Okay, so, yeah, how it works...
It destroys Antidermis.
Yes. It destroys Antidermis, but presumably only in the surrounding area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it absorbs their power, so now Tahu, to finally make up for all those mask powers he's lost, he now has a bunch of assorted Makuta powers.
He has literally every Makuta power.
So it's only briefly touched on in this book, but yeah, he has all the powers of the Rakshi he absorbed.
Yep.
It's funny, the only time they touch on it is when he just, nonchalantly uses heat vision on a thing.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
which could easily be dismissed as him using fire powers.
It's like how Makuta Brutaka still teleports a lot. It's just he's most used to doing that, so he's just gonna do more of that. He can do other stuff, but you're gonna do the thing that you're good at. And Tahu's good at fire. And now he can just shoot it. He can just shoot it from his eyes, which I think he presumably could have always done that. But now he can do it slightly easier.
Yep. Now he has an explicit power of heat vision.
Yep.
So he can just do that whenever he wants.
And he's a shape-shifting guy, so if he wants, he can look like a TuragaNuva again.
And he can make chain lightning.
He can disintegrate people.
He can make people slow.
He can dodge.
I also
He
seem
can confuse
to
people.
recall
He can
that
make people think rocks are
recently-
falling on them.
What?
Recently, in a TTV message board post, Greg said that, maybe the Mask of Life turned him back into a TuragaNuva afterwards. So Tahu was really, really overpowered at this point.
Why?
Why? No.
Why?
Don't have the mask change him back. That's stupid.
What the fuck?
Let me see if I can find it.
Oh
mean,
yeah, the
turning
mask changed something that I didn't realize, and apparently when it turned the Toamari back into when it changed the Toamari back into functional creatures again, it left them as water breathers, so now they're true amphibians apparently.
And apparently,
when the fuck did that occur?
apparently, Mananui is doing that to everyone now.
Yeah, so, okay, what that was, specifically with the Mari, was when Matoro teleported them all back onto Metro Nui, he was like, hey, Mask, can you do one more thing for me? Make them so they can breathe on air and underwater.
Yeah, why?
Because
It was never mentioned except right now.
Because their bodies are designed for scuba, so it'd be kind of weird. It's like being a fish guy, but you can't breathe underwater, so what the fuck?
Well,
Yeah, it'd be kind of strange if the Mask of Life explicitly took powers away from them for no really good reason.
Well, it explicitly gave them powers, so I don't see why it would. They didn't need to be underwater anymore.
I interpreted
But can Gali breathe underwater?
With her mask?
With a mask of water breathing.
Exactly. So they don't have masks of water breathing. They can just breathe underwater now.
Yeah, my interpretation of
Why?
it, and a lot of my followers seem to also go with it, is that the mask just kind of combined their Inika and Mari forms so that they just could do all the same shit that they could do, but now they can do more of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, people just came out with...
weird.
People came out with that nonsense because they just, 2006 was when the Lime joints started getting, Lime, so... And Hallie had a lot of Lime joints, and no one wanted that to be. So they just took the blue joints from Hallie and Nika and put them on Hallie Mari because
Oh, that, yeah. That was a interesting mock. I'm not entirely fond of the color scheme, but it works.
I don't like it either, but it's like Lego has made revolutions in they finally worked out how to get their budget to work with joints again, but they were really hesitant to release joints in Lime still, and it's on the one hand it's disappointing, but on the other I get it. I goddamn hate oil and capitalism. Goddamn it.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the story. I think it's finally time to talk about the moment. The moment when Makuta, hesitating for a moment as all his Rakshi die at once, doesn't notice Matanui pushing him straight into the path of an oncoming moon. Get mooned.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
I was not expecting that.
Can you imagine if Batman thought of a funny joke one day and just fucking died?
Can you imagine if Batman just threw a rock at the Joker and killed him?
It's like, oh, Joker! Oh my god! I'm finally out. I've run out of things in my infinite MacGuffin belt. I'm just gonna throw a rocket. Oh my god! Wait, that's all I had to do?
Actually, no, it's not even that. He got the Joker to throw a rock at himself and kill him.
That's all it took to defeat the Joker? I just had to throw a rock at him?
So,
What the fuck? I have boomerangs shaped like bats. And I just had to
rest in
throw
peace, all the guys in Metronui, I guess.
No, apparently they
Well, I like the part where they, like, pull... What is it? They pull Taipu out of... Maku's pulling Taipu out of the rubble or something.
Yeah.
And they look up, which, in relative to where Makuta was hit in the head, would technically have been down, which means the artificial gravity is just completely turned off now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they're sitting on the ceiling of the archive, completely collapsed, and they look at what used to be the floor, and there's just a giant hole in the sky.
Yeah, that's gotta be trippy.
Which, by the way, wouldn't be the sky, it would just be like the bottom of the dome.
Can you imagine what it'd be like walking on what used to be the sky, but is now the ground, and looking up at the new sky?
Well, technically they were on the ceiling of the archives because they were in like a sub-level.
Okay,
so.
but see, the domes of the Bionicle universe had their own skies, and people can walk on those now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's gotta be weird walking on the sky and looking down at the new sky.
Like, I want somebody to do, like, a detailed drawing of that event, because it would just be so fucking trippy to look at.
Yeah, just look down at the up sky with the new sky, and the universe broke. Let's go party.
It's like, I'm kind of imagining, like, you're sort of looking at, how do I put it? You're standing on, like, an overhang from a Tametru forge. Just, you're looking down at the sky, but also looking up at a hole in the street that just leads to a new sky.
Yeah. It's weird.
Like, I want to see that drawn or modeled or something if anyone's watching is, like, really good at art, because that would be hilarious.
What are you talking about? Anybody watching?
I know, what I mean is, like, realistic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Liam,
So,
you have a friend in me. Well, not me, but you know.
What?
You know a guy.
What?
You know a guy.
What?
You know a guy.
What?
Who knows
Talking
who?
about?
Hatman?
What?
Oh,
Who?
Hat Kid?
Andrew?
Oh, we haven't talked today.
Oh,
Andrew Hussey?
that's disappointing. A friend of Liam who wore a hat.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, that's all. Oh, yeah. He was friends
Let's-
with Chris.
let's-
He was friends with Chris McLean from Total Drama Island.
let's not miss the most important part of this Taipu moment, which is that sweet acknowledgement of MNOG, which
Yeah,
Greg
the
had
Chronicles
previously
Company.
declared
Yeah.
was not canon.
Yep, the end of Bionicle. Bionicle basically ends with Greg acknowledging the Flash games are canon. They always were officially canon, but now they're officially canon.
So the Chroniclers Company, there we are.
God, that's hard to
minus
say,
Hafu-
isn't it?
Minus Hafu and Kapura, it lives again.
The Crocker
now- And now they're a search and rescue team
It's like
for all the people in the dead
the
universe.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
I just realized that Cumberbatch does work as a plural.
While all this was happening, Mazika and Light Pterodax, they smashed up those Shadow TuragaNuvas that we mentioned earlier. That's the resolution of their story.
Yeah, Greg had to.
That's it.
Greg had to really rush things. I assume he was planning for Light Pterodax to be relevant because of the whole being the good version of the universe. But he had a good speech where he was all like, Dark Pterodax was all like, you are the weaker version of me and I could snuff you out in an instant. And he's all like, I'm more powerful than you could ever hope to be because I managed to avoid the temptation to be you. And it's like, holy
Even
shit.
though they actually have completely different backstories.
I mean,
Like, I get
What?
the whole butterfly effect thing is like a cool speech about how, maybe one little thing had been different. The one Makuta would have ended up like the other, but actually everything was different, so it doesn't really fit.
Like Pterodax, he said that presumably had the same situation happened, he could have ended up like this guy, but he didn't. Because shit was different. Lots of shit was different. Like, a lot of shit was different. He never had the opportunity to be a robot, so, of course he's a good guy. He was a good guy before, and then he found out, hey, some squid guys, they were like, hey, I want to be a baby. I want to be a sky baby, so I'm a jar.
So, yeah, the Light Pterodax smashed up 3 Shadow TuragaNuvas, and that's his story. Yay.
Yep.
Anyway,
good job,
so now
good
that,
job, good job, Greg. Good job. You thinking on your feet, tying that up real quick.
So yeah, now all the big battles are over. Tahoe and TuragaNuva.
that is my last note. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So Greg was so caught off guard by Lego canceling Bionicle, next line, that he made the... I'm going to read this as it is written. Ultimatate. I'm going to send you in the chat how I wrote this. I was very tired when I wrote this. I must have been. Very tired and hungry. Ultimatate.
Ultimatate.
That he
Ultimatate.
Greg was so caught off guard by Lego canceling their cash cow franchise that he made the ultimate conclusion to Light Pterodax being brought to a reality literally called the Makutaverse. Was him being all like, hey, I got all these powers, but I'm gonna not use them. I got this big hammer instead. Smashy. Beautiful. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. And that is my last notes.
So now we just get into the little epilogue chapter. So Tahu and TuragaNuva, they're just surveying the aftermath. They're like, oh, everybody's cool. All the Dark Hunters, they're fine now. All the bad guys that we've ever fought, it doesn't matter. We can deal with them. The point is, a big bad Makuta is dead for sure.
Supposedly.
And also Matanui's probably dead too.
Yep. Maybe.
And also he made the planet
Yes.
stuff happen.
Yep.
Yeah,
Kind of
so-
glossed over that.
Yep.
Well, no, that is now.
Yep.
So
Madanui put the planet back together, and he made it better than ever, and everyone's happy, and Kina's all like,
Yeah.
oh, I wanted to leave the planet, but he brought the planet to me, and
so the first part of what Madanui did was, of course, smushing the pieces of the planet back together. Then he used the power of the Mask of Life combined with his robot body to, like, sort of, smooth it out and make trees everywhere, including the desert. And, he, like, regrew life in Aqua Magna, in the ocean.
Yeah, if you just shove
cured some guys of their...
if you just shove rocks together, it's not gonna make a bigger, smoother rock, and, but he did it because of magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he made
exactly.
and he made the water breathers be able to breathe air so they could leave. And he made and your computer's a touchscreen now, so you can just poke the buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he planted, like, 2 extra trees in Bota Magna.
Yeah, and he solved global warming literally, and he ended world hunger, and he brought your dog back to life. And he ended the housing crisis, and he broke into the White House and murdered Donald Trump with his bare hands.
Literally all of those things.
He broke into all of the terrorist facilities, including ICE, and he freed all the orphans, and he returned them to their parents, and he brought their parents back to life if that was impossible, and he brought everyone's anime waifus to life so that the incels could live happily ever after, and just all the problems, all of them are solved forever.
Yes.
There is no more sads in the universe.
Except Kina. She's sad that Matanui's dead, probably.
Or not.
Or not, maybe.
It's really...
He's in the mask.
I hate it.
Yeah. So Matanui's in the mask. He can still talk to people, and he gives them a big old goodbye speech, which can pretty much be summed up as, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Yeah, and Tahu
Change the world. My final message.
Tahu
Goodbye.
literally says, you could just make your body again, and you could hang out with us, because we just kind of literally had a whole epic 10-year-long franchise devoted to protecting you and saving you, and we could just hang out now that you're not God. We could just hang out. You don't even need to lead us anymore because you kind of just literally solved all the problems. We could just hang out. And he's all like, nah, dude, nah. Maybe, but nah. He does say
Yeah.
He does say
maybe later, but not right now.
He does say maybe later. Some people interpret it as the Mask of Life finally running out of juice. Because there does seem to be physics and thermodynamics maybe, but I'm just like, nah, Maldanui's just like, these people were in my body, and they're my blood cells and my organs, and my body is dead, and I am a disembodied soul living in a face. This is weird, and I just want to go back to sleep.
Yep. All of this just so he could go back to bed.
So yeah, and the mask doesn't even curse people anymore, and Kina picks it up, and she's all like crying and cradling it as if her husbando just died, because he did. Yeah. And she just hands it over to Tahu, who wants...
Yeah, I was going to say, because she's never met Tahu. She doesn't know who he is. He's just like, gimme, and she's like, okay.
I don't know why Tahu even wants to take it. They don't need it anymore. It doesn't matter who has it. And
he just wants to hold it, I guess.
And Kina hands it over because... At this point, this thing literally brought their planet back from hell.
Yeah.
So it is the most powerful thing in the universe. There is not a damn thing. A universe, 2 universes collapsed on top of it. It's gonna be fine. There is nothing this stranger in red and gold armor could do to damage it. She's all like, I don't know who the fuck you are, or why you want this. I'm just gonna give it to you because I'm traumatized, and you could literally try to destroy it right now, and there's not a damn thing you could do to it. It's indestructible. It's like she's basically like, yeah, just take it. It's she's not gonna talk to me anymore. I don't want it.
All right, we get the idea.
But yeah,
Liam,
anyway.
shut up, Liam! I'm ranting.
So, Tahu, the guy who started it all, closes scene. Cool. He's like, yes, that's the end of Bionicle, everybody.
Yep.
Let's go home.
Except we are all of the actual homes are literally gone because they were living in those robots.
We can rebuild. It's fine.
We have
Yeah,
all
they
these
basically
raw
just
materials.
say God's gone, the end.
We have
Yeah.
all these raw materials. That's probably another reason why Madanui doesn't want to hang out, because they're going to be dismantling both of his corpses to build homes. This is
Fine.
Yeah.
They don't need to dismantle them. It's already homes for them.
Oh, well, that's even worse.
They've been living in his second dead body for thousands of years now.
Imagine living in your own corpse.
You.
Imagine living in the corpse of an identical stranger.
Huh.
No, technically they were both him now. He was both of them at one point.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think he ever got put into the into the first one. Otherwise, he would have exploded with it.
No, he got put in the prototype robot by now.
Yeah, but it's not his body.
Well, it is
Just
now.
because Makuta's in Matanui's body doesn't mean it's Makuta's body.
Oh, he seemed to think it was, and technically Makuta was part of Matanui, so technically, aren't we all just part of a giant robot's intestines?
And that's the moral of the story.
Yeah, this is weird, and Matanui's like, okay, I'm done, I'm out, and then he fades away. I always thought the Mask of Life just kind of flew off so no one could fondle it. But
Tahu just takes it with him.
apparently he doesn't fly away. So that puts a damper on my fanfiction ideas. I came up with this idea, like, what if Tahu's all like, you know what, my Turaga is a mask maker. I'm gonna go make this Kanoi Ida or whatever Hallie had and go find it.
Oh,
but
well.
no, apparently it don't work. So I guess he'll just astral project into it to talk to Madanui and say, hey man, come hang out with us finally. And it's like, alright, fine, I'm bored in here. There's no cable.
So anyway, that is it. That is the main end of Bionicle. We do have an epilogue book left to read next time. But yeah, that is kind of where it all ends. What do y'all think?
It's Bionicle is so
rushed.
Yeah. Bionicle is such a great franchise that two giant robots shooting planets at each other is considered a disappointment. I think that in itself should speak to just how great everything is. That's considered a disappointment.
I don't think it's so much that it was great that's considered a disappointment. It's that they'd for years been foreshadowing this enormous cataclysm between Makuta and Matanui.
Yeah.
And it ended up just being he pushes him into a moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
think
have
given
liked
the restraints they were under with finishing the story after, the line had been canceled. I think overall it was a pretty satisfying end.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I don't attribute it being bad, the ending, to the writers. They were constrained, but
Greg did the best he could. I made fun of him a lot in this episode, and we've all make fun of him all the time. He's very makey funnable-ish. But, he did the best he could. Wait, you mean I have to end this shit now? Oh, God.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, just there was too much to do in too little time, and just that's why all of it turned out so disappointing. But even for a disappointment, 2 giant robots haphazardly throwing planets at each other. You can't get cooler than that. They could have maybe if they had more time and effort and money, but wow.
But all 3 of those things cost money.
Well, yeah, because
especially money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta pay people to write stuff and draw stuff. You gotta have time to make it. And then there's the resources. Like, you gotta eat food in order to make the writing happen.
I don't think you do. Not really.
Yeah, Lego ran out of food budget, and everyone was all like, "Okay, guys, we can't go to McDonald's."
And that's
Just eat these Lego bricks that will sustain you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. I would have liked to have more character interaction between Makuta and Matanui, because like this is like the thing.
Yeah.
And like they have like a conversation, and it's awesome, and like
and then it's over.
There's so much more, and just
yeah, I definitely see what you're saying there. Like, Makuta and Matanui, they've been built up as rivals throughout this whole thing, and then the final clash comes down to, I'm good, you're evil, goodbye.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that was another thing.
Yeah.
The three virtues, like, basically the whole thing it boiled down to in the last book. Everything was to do with the 3 virtues in this book. And then they completely forgo unity to go with the option of smashing his head in.
Yeah.
Unity! Duty!
Because I truly thought that...
Smashy!
It said, like, the whole way... since Matanui figured out what he had to do to unite the planets, he was saying, oh, I need 2 people to do this. I genuinely thought they were going to reform Makuta somehow, or maybe, like, at a push, they were going to put Tren Krom in the baby body. But... no, just throw a big thing at him.
I mean,
don't worry.
In a roundabout way, they did kind of work together, in that Matanui pushed his gravity powers in the right direction.
Don't worry. You'll be disappointed when we see Tren Krom again.
Will I? Oh, goody.
Yeah,
oh, goody. I'm so glad Cthulhu is in
I was certainly disappointed when I found out what happens to Cthulhu after this.
Yeah, so I suppose we will find out about that next time on this show, in episode 21 or 22. I forget which one it is. The next
21.
one. 21. Okay.
I think I wrote it was 20. This one is the episode.
Yeah, this one here is 20. Next time is 21. So yeah, everybody, I would like to welcome you to join us for that. In 2 more weeks' time, we'll be reading Book 10, which is the final book of Biological Chronicle. And fittingly, we will have TuragaNuva himself on as a guest for that episode, reviewing all of that.
I'm going to be real sad about it.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty sad too. But let's save our sadness for then. For now, let's just say, Happy Halloween.
Looks at calendar 11/03.
I think you mean 3/11.
Yeah.
Get it.
I'm sorry, correct. You've got it wrong. You do.
I prefer the notation of year first, month first, day first, because if you arrange them in a list of numbers, that puts everything in the correct chronological order.
I also like that order, to be fair. It's good.
Yep. Some people are all like, but I don't like things being in order.
Such as the standard American system.
But it makes it, like, easy to compartmentalize in the British version, because you're like, what date is it? The 2nd. What date is it? The 2nd of this month. What date is it? The 2nd of this month of this year. You can, like, escalate your specificity.
What looks nicer, an alphabetized shelf of video games, or just a pile of haphazardly strewn about video games, not even in their taste, freaking Cheetos everywhere?